Hey everybody, welcome to the Phantom Zone. Starting a bit early. We're not scheduled till 7, but I was sitting here and I'm like, let's just go live. Who cares? We're going to keep it pretty loose today. I want to talk a little bit about before I get my panel going. I've been watching and hey, Arkham, how's it going, dude? Have you been reading? Did I read Batman yet? No, I haven't read Batman yet, and I've got to read the second story, the backup story to go or to Detective. But otherwise, I've read Detective Comics this week, and it was Batman out this week. I've lost track because I tend to read them together. So let me know if you caught up on all of those. I caught up on Robin. Hey, Suscast, how's it going? You're on 4G. All right, cool. So I caught up on almost all the books. I just got to read Detective, and I have to read Batman, and then I'm all caught up. And I did get Superman and the Authority. So I haven't read Superman and the Authority yet, but I've read. Let's take a look here. I read. Oh, I did read Detective. I'm a liar. Yeah, Batman's been very good. I agree with you. I got this as well. I don't know if anybody picked this one up. Puzzle Box. If you didn't pick it up, it looks pretty good so far. I don't know. And I've liked Action Comics a lot, actually, as well. I think the two Supermans, the two Batmans are like pretty good. Nightwing is really good. Robin's really good. Joker's really good. Basically, all of the Batman family of books right now are pretty good. I haven't read the next Batman. Let me know if you read that, Arkham. I did not read that yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know. There's just too many. Like, I don't want to get into non-Batman Batman books. Does that make sense? Except for again, I am reading the Joker, which I guess technically is a Batman related thing. But all of the Batman stuff's been really good. This Joker's puzzle box was pretty neat too. I don't know if the other Joker series is ending. I don't know if it's ending. Um, yeah, you get basically anything that's Batman. Um, there's just becoming too many books. Remember, too, Arkham, if you're just getting those, I'm getting what you're getting. And then I also get about 15. There's like at least 10 to 15 X-Men related comics that I'm also getting. So it's, I think if I was just gonna say like, look, I'm gonna do Batman and then that's all I'm gonna do. If I was gonna do that, then I would definitely go ahead and just get all the Batman related stuff. And there's only about maybe I think 9 or 10 Batman related books if you count Suicide Squad and the Joker stuff and like Harley Quinn and those kinds of things. But definitely, I will always get Detective Comics and Batman, and I will always get Nightwing, and I will always get anything to do with Robin, pretty much. Let's say so. Nightwing is Robin, right? But I will always get that, and I will always get Superman and Action Comics. I don't give a crap if it becomes bad or whatever, and I'll always get Wonder Woman. So two Batmans, the two Supermans, and Wonder Woman. I'm always going to get those no matter what. Superman's and Wonder Woman, I for sure get physical copies. Even Batman, I get physical now. Um, and Flash, I like Flash. I've been reading Flash. I've been getting that digitally. I did get a few physical copies. Maybe I'll go back to getting the actual book. The problem is that DC does not give you a digital copy. So when you buy this comic, you got to read the comic. So I don't really care if comics are going to be worth more later on, and I read them very carefully anyways, but I want to read them and not have to be like using gloves or whatever. But the Marvel books give you a digital version, so when I buy a Marvel book, I can basically just keep it sealed and read it on digital. So but yeah, if you got the Joker's puzzle box, or what is it, the Joker Presents a puzzle box, it was really funny. I thought it was pretty fun. So that's that. I was going to mention briefly, or just before we get my panelists on, I've been watching Power Rangers Dino Fury, so I've caught up. That's the latest Power Rangers. I've caught up to. There's only 11 episodes, which I'm a little bit stunned on. I'm not sure what happened there. Why is there only 11 episodes? Maybe COVID had something to do with it, but like usually there's tons of these Power Ranger episodes, right? So yeah, the magistrate. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's all good stuff. and Scarecrow and all that stuff. So I did not read Batman. I did read Detective Comics. I just forgot to bring it here. It's in the other room. I have if I'm reading a comic, I usually have it at my desk in my office. And then if when I'm done reading it, I'll file it away in my box. And my boxes are kind of everywhere now. So there's a few in here. Infinite Frontier stuff is all here. The X-Men stuff, I've dropped all physical X-Men comics except for X-Men and Wolverine, which I'll never stop those two. I'll always get X-Men and I'll always get Wolverine. But it gets a lot, right? So a lot of like even Sean and Steve they've basically transitioned to digital. They just don't have the space for it. And I don't think they even have the inkling to travel to the comic shop every Tuesday, which I just I like doing. I'm going to try to be live streaming from the comic shop. I'm trying to set that up. I need a better microphone, or I need a microphone that actually works properly so I can interview people at the comic shop. And there's actually going to be an event next Tuesday. No, what am I saying? The 14th. That's a Saturday. Yeah, so there's going to be a barbecue and stuff. Free comic book day is going to be that day. So I'm gonna hopefully I'll try to maybe even live stream from there if possible. It's not 100%. We'll have to see how it goes, but that's a possibility. But the 15th, August the 15th, there's a toy show. So Sean and I are going to hit that up, and we haven't gone to a toy show in a long time. It's been a year and a half now at least, right? So we're going to hit the toy show up, and I've got a few things that I need to get. A couple of wrestling figures as well I'm looking for. And maybe a couple of other, maybe some Star Trek stuff. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll get some He-Man stuff. None of that Revelations crap though. I'll be getting like old school vintage, the real He-Man. Well, I don't even want to do the quotes. It's the real He-Man. It's not this Revelation crap. Now, Suicide Squad. Is that today? That might even be out today. Normally, yeah, I think there's a show tonight here, right by where I live. But I haven't talked to Sean or Steve about it. Normally we would have been going tonight. To be honest with everybody, we would have already been at the show right now because I think it's starting right now. So we didn't go, and I just kind of forgot to ask if they even wanted to go. Normally I order tickets in advance for all these shows. So this will be the first like superhero movie I don't see in the theater. It like opening night pretty much. I'm really excited to see the Suicide Squad movie tomorrow. So yeah, we've got a sneak preview tonight at my theater. I always do IMAX. Since we got an IMAX, like I don't know how many years ago, like 10 years ago or whatever, maybe more. I literally I see everything in IMAX. In Canada, the IMAX is a pick your seat thing. So you can pick your seat. I always pick J15, which is the back row. For IMAX, you want to be as far away as possible to get the full effect. And for 3D, you also want to be further away from the screen so that things come out more towards you. And I used to take the very center, which was like, I don't know, like J8 or something or whatever it was. And I just stopped getting that because the middle was really there's too many irritating people. So I've started taking the back corner, which in our IMAX, the way IMAX is set up, it's supposed to be like a THX setup, which doesn't just necessarily mean the sound. It also means the format and the seating placement. So you're always going to have a good seat whenever you go to IMAX, at least the way they've set it up here. All right, so Steve's on here. Let's get Steve on here. Hey, man.
Hey.
All right, so we were talking a little bit about Batman, some of the Batman books. I did not read Batman, but I read Detective Comics. Yeah, oh no, front seat is not great for IMAX or 3D. Like we're kind of like those cinephile guys where I used to be like, okay, I need to get the perfect seat. Now in IMAX, it's different. The back center is really the best seat. I don't take it anymore. And we kind of came to a consensus saying we're just going to take the corner now because there's just too many irritating people around you. And I've been in so many like verbal fights with people that I just can't. And Steve's laughing because everyone laughs you know, and I get into these fights all the time with people. We're gonna do a stream where I'm gonna tell you the top 10 J-Man versus moviegoers. That would be a great stream. I'm gonna make Steve. Maybe you and I can come up with a list of all of my famous battles.
Well, 3 come right off the top of my mind.
Okay,
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, no, don't say what they are.
Okay.
Yeah. Suicide Squad was one. Yeah. The Eagle.
Yeah.
Was that
Dungeons and Dragons?
Dungeons and Dragons
might be my all-time favorite.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Mostly because of what the audience was actually doing to piss you off. Like what they were saying was like absurd. I wasn't present for this one, but Stigmata's got to be there.
Yeah, Stigmata. I actually got applause from the audience. I actually got applause, for Christ's sakes.
Man of Steel.
Oh, what happened on Man of Steel?
You were very verbal about someone 20 rows down turning on his phone during Man of Steel.
Hey, and this is supposed to be J-Man hater of Man of Steel, and yet in the theater when I was watching Man of Steel, somebody pissed me right off, and I told them where they need to go shopping. You know,
it wasn't Costco.
Yeah, it wasn't Costco. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I know. Listen, today's a great day. So you're coming on this Sunday, right? We're gonna talk X-Men, because I'm really liking X-Men, and I just started watching your video of the beginning, the timeline, the beginning. So check that out, guys. Gray Malcolm just published that like about an hour ago, talking about the X-Men timeline. So I just started watching. I thought, what am I doing? I have a live stream. Like, what the hell what am I doing? Oh, today's your birthday. Happy birthday, dude.
Oh, happy birthday, Gray.
Hey, Cosmos John, what's going on? I missed. Hold on, I wanted to. I have a story for you. So many people pissed me off in the movie. I get pissed off when I try to watch any movie. So I'm supposed to be the hater of Man of Steel, but yet I fought with people in the. Now remember, at that time, I'm not a hater of Man of Steel, anyways. But at that time, when I was watching in the theater, I loved it. I was like all about that movie. So people were pissing me off. Even the not the Suicide Squad, but like Suicide Squad, the original. People pissed me right the hell off. And I was fighting with these 2 teenage girls. I was fighting with them. And they're being real B words. Yeah. And it's like, seriously. And this is Suicide Squad, which is kind of a trash movie, but I don't care. I don't care if it's a trash movie or something. It doesn't matter. I'm here to enjoy when like, and Steve and I do movie parties all the time. And he comes to my place, I go to his place or whatever. We watch movies, and Steve and I literally, like, we're watching a movie. There's no talking. It's like the lights are off, you know, the surround sound or whatever is on, you know, the sound is amped up. We both have like 4K, you know, huge TVs. There's no bullshit, right? Like benches, yeah. Witches with a B. And there's no bullshit. When my wife and I watch movies, the blinds are closed, it's dark, I've got surround sound, we watch the movie. I don't give a shit if it's a trash movie or not. That's not how I roll. It's like the only movie I ever turned off and stopped watching was that horrendous Kevin Smith, whatever it was called, the reboot of Jay and Silent Bob. That was the only one I ever stopped watching.
By the way,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. For those of you who want to sit in the front row, but you don't want the annoying people behind you, I have a trick. And this actually worked for a few times. And I stopped doing it. And I don't know why I stopped doing it, because I shouldn't have stopped doing it, but this was awesome. So what I would do, J-Man and I always get to the theater early. We would go into the theater. We'd usually be the first ones in. We'd sit middle. And I usually brought food in, right? It was like the nachos, the hot dog, the pop, whatever. And I eat pretty fast, right? So I actually would finish my dinner or the meal before the movie started and before people really started to get in. So what I started to do is I would finish my meal, take the garbage, the wrappings, and throw it behind me onto the seats behind me so that no one would sit there. And it worked like a few times. And I was like, man, this is really working. But for some reason I got paranoid. I don't remember why. I don't know if I was paranoid that like an usher would catch me and like get mad at me or something, but I stopped doing it. And people sat behind us, and eventually it got so annoying we had to go to the back, even though, as J-Man said, the best seats are middle, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't do it anymore. Like, it was too many situations where we weren't enjoying the movie. J-Man was fighting with everyone. Like, it got too much, right? Because it gets tiring after a while, and you just basically say, okay, what do I do, right? So
yeah, you got to sit in line so that your vision is the full sort of screen. So it might be different for everybody. That's Sean's dog.
Yeah.
It's fine. He's fine.
he
I don't know. He's
I
going to
think
the
he says
closet.
it's a fly or something, or a ghost. I don't know.
he's like, he gets super grumbly.
Yeah, well, that's what dogs do.
Yeah.
I don't own any pets. I had a one-eyed goldfish, a black goldfish, which I guess is still a goldfish, even though it's black. I don't remember why, or unless there's a different name for them. Those ones with the big eyes, like the Admiral Akbar looking.
Eyes. Yeah,
the bulbous eyes. Yeah, one eye was missing, so he had one eye. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my god, there's a goldfish with one eye. This is awesome. So that's the one I chose for my pet or whatever, and that was the only. And then I had other fish, but they would always die, and you're just like, oh, it's like, so they're so useless.
Goldfish die like immediately. I don't even understand like why you pay for that, because it's just going to die within a few days. You have a pet for a few days. I don't know.
Well, I would notice at IMAX, you'd get sort of a higher, I don't want to say a higher class, but I guess a better class, whatever.
Or you're paying $20 for the ticket. It's not.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, we did have a bad situation in one Blade Runner 2049 where this didn't bother me as much because I was off to the side, but Sean and J-Man got the full effect of this couple was like basically making out through the entire, and that's a long movie, and they were making out through the entire thing.
Yeah, and I don't mind making out, but it's like smacking. It's like mwah, mwah, mwah.
Honestly, I don't remember that. I think I said that at the time when someone, I think Steve, you put it out. I was like, oh, I didn't even know.
Oh no, I knew.
Watching the movie, man.
I knew. I knew for sure. Sean, apparently I got angry in Man of Steel at people. I don't remember this one.
No, I remember going to the wrong theater. So that's.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
That was classic.
I parked at that theater and I walked over to the chapters. And while I was walking, you just happened to be there, like waiting for someone else to take. And you're like, it's Sean. And I'm like, hey, it's J-Man. So I walk over and you're like, it's the wrong theater, man. It's another theater over there.
Yeah, no, I was picking up my wife. I think she was coming off the.
Yeah,
she was coming off because her bus would stay there, so I would just kind of pick her up on the way home. So I was going to drop her off and then head right to the other theater. I'm like thinking, why is Sean here? And if I hadn't gone picked her up and seen her at that moment, you'd be sitting there thinking, "Oh, we're supposed to be watching Superman. Like, what's happening?" And I'm like, "We're in a different theater, dude." So we had to start like, because I mean the theaters have names, but really there's only two we go to. There's one by Steve and there's one by me. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like we have to say it's the J theater or the Steve theater or whatever, and then we know it's kind of like which one to go to. Now we're not seeing Suicide Squad. Is that going to be streaming on HBO or something?
I thought it was. No,
I
there has to be a theatrical window though.
Yeah, it's in the theater now, but I checked. Tickets are all sold out. They did sell out here, at the J theater at least. But whatever. I mean, I we'll see that the way we, what we got to do, right?
So I think actually, J-Man, you were picking up our action elite buddy Owen because he went with us to see Man of Steel.
Oh, it could have been because I would always pick my wife up at that chapters
at the same one, yeah.
Hey, Andrew, how's it going? So yeah, they probably met me at chapters, and then I picked everybody up and drove down. Good thing, because it's like Sean, why are you in the wrong theater? You almost missed Man of Steel.
Did you talk about our last Suicide Squad experience? Or
no, I know we're saving these stories, and so we're gonna save these stories as a J-Man versus the theater. We'll do a live stream. It'll be J-Man versus everyone. And we're gonna have to write these down because I don't remember them all. And Steve may have to help me because Steve's got a better memory for this. I fought with so many people that I'm forgetting the fights now. That's how bad it is. It's like I literally fight with everybody in the theater because they piss me off. And it's like, and especially, Man of Steel, like any of these big releases, But I even fought during the Eagle, and it was the Spirit. We were watching the Spirit. That was another one where someone got kicked out of their chair, and I'm like, buddy, you got a problem here? It's like nobody's ever challenged me except for that guy at the Eagle, who like kind of talked back and.
Oh man, yeah, his talk back was like lame as hell.
It was lame, and then I really got angry after that. That was super funny.
You always know you're in trouble when the people behind you are whispering, "What movie is this again?" Like, why are you there at this point?
Yeah. No, there's not any more of those stories. The Suicide Squad came after a long time because that's when we start to sit in the back corner. Like I literally take the very, very back corner. And then I never have these problems anymore because there's no one any behind me or side of me. So it's only people in front. Now, people way, way in the front, it doesn't affect you too much in IMAX because they're so far down. But the Suicide Squad, or I keep saying the Suicide Squad, just to differentiate the shitty one from this one, which may not be as shitty. I don't know. Maybe it will be. I don't know.
Suicide Squad 2. I hate this stupid we'll put the Predator.
Yeah, I know. I hate
Are you
that
dumb
too.
as an ass? Just it's 2, and they're like, it's not a sequel, right? Because 3 of the characters from the last one are in it.
Yeah, Amanda Waller's the same.
It's like, we're so ashamed. Well, then you shouldn't have made the last one. Then shut up. This is part 2.
There's 4, isn't there? There's Flag. There's Harley Quinn. There's Boomerang, and there's Waller.
Waller, yeah.
Yeah, 4 people.
Shut up.
But I mean, we could do that stream actually as a theater experience because Sean had a great one where there was this whole drama playing out beside him between this woman and this. They were whispering back and forth. I want to say it was Godzilla. And it was a very intense conversation. Sean heard it all. Like I asked him about it afterwards. He's like, "Oh yeah," and then he just went into she wanted to know this. And then she was worried about this, and then I'm like, "You heard the whole."
I don't remember any of this.
Oh yeah,
it's I think were they talking about the movie or something? I don't know.
No, it was a personal drama thing.
Yeah,
there was something because there was another friend of ours beside me, and he leaned over. He says, "Are they going to talk the entire movie?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, when I'm in a movie, I'm totally in it." I don't.
Obviously, you didn't even see the making out credits.
Because there's Godzilla, man. I remember when Godzilla was about to use his laser breath for the first time and only time in that movie. I heard this one guy go, "Watch this," and then he turned to his girlfriend or something and was like, "Watch this."
It's atomic breath. You said laser. It just that's.
I said laser. I was in the moment.
I know. That's why I didn't correct you because I wanted to let you finish your thing. But then I do have to make sure everyone knows it's atomic breath because it matters. Did you go get it, Sean? Did you go get it?
No, I'll get it this weekend. I'm working on stuff, man. I'll get everything.
Or you can go on your lunch break to Walmart and get it.
J-Man apparently does not work.
The ones around here have lineups. But if I go out about half hour or so, there's no lineups there. So it's weird.
I literally go at 7 a.m.
I'm not doing that.
I have to ask. That's the Blu-ray? That's the Steelbook?
4K.
No, it's the 4K. It's a Steelbook, I guess, in Walmart, and then later on they'll release a regular 4K. But
okay,
yeah. You got the touch. Dun, dun, dun.
It's a 2-disc thing, and then it gives you some. It gives you some they're not lobby cards, but they're kind of like small versions of lobby cards.
Yeah. Well, I'll totally get it. I don't know how many versions of that movie I have. Jesus.
Oh, I have.
I've got 2 VHSs. Is it 3 DVDs? I don't know. I've got the Blu-ray. Yeah.
I've got the clamshell VHS with just Prime on it.
Yeah.
I got the soundtrack. Then I got the revised soundtrack.
Yeah.
So that's 2.
Oh, I got the soundtrack too.
And then there's the revised.
Yeah, the one that had all the Unicron stuff on it.
Yeah.
Too.
Right. Which is very important because I liked all that a lot. So that's the second one. That was sold. 2 soundtracks, VHS. There was a DVD, then there was another DVD, then there was a Blu-ray, and then there's a 4K. So I've got 5 of it. I got 5
Yeah,
of them.
there's the shit DVD. There's
Yep.
the anniversary DVD. I thought there was another one.
No, then there's a Blu-ray, and then now there's
The
this
Blu-ray
4K
copies
Blu-ray.
the anniversary DVD,
But
like
just better.
the features and all that stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think so.
yeah.
Yeah, so then there's the Blu-ray, then there's the 4K. Now this 4K, and I don't remember if the Blu-ray was like this or not. Hey, Skeptic, what's going on, dude? I don't remember if the Blu-ray was like this, but this one has the bars, like at least on my TV, it's the proper format. It hasn't been.
Yeah, this
it hasn't.
that.
Oh, it wasn't reformatted.
I don't think so. What do you mean, like reformat to the proper bars, or just
No.
to have bars at all?
No.
No.
Oh, you mean
Reformatted
to fit the screen?
to fill the screen.
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again.
Yeah,
But,
because
Yeah.
if it's doing that, it's cutting off animation. This is one of these things where it's hard to explain for people that don't know this, but like some movies are meant to be in a certain aspect ratio, and now we've got the reverse. It used to be they would crop the sides off in order to fit a square television.
Yeah.
And then they would call it letterboxing by having those bars and shrinking
And
it.
shrinking the image to make
so
it
that it fit
yeah.
the full image fit. But then when widescreen TVs came out, they had to, those DVDs and VHSs that did the letterboxing or whatever, did not conform to a widescreen TV. So what would happen is that they'd be shrunken but stretched, and it looks really weird. Then
the VHS was never proper format.
Never format.
I remember we were debating whether or not it was in a theater, because you saw it, I didn't, in a theater, and I was like, it must have been a movie format, right? And at one point we saw when they're leaving in the Renaissance ships to go fight Unicron. There's a cigarette burn, like it's just a fraction of one, and you're like, look, there's a cigarette burn. It must be like a better ratio. Like there must be a better ratio version. So yeah.
Right, because the theater would close the curtains.
Yeah.
If they needed to, right? And you'd always know because it would open and then it would go like this, right? And then okay, now you're seeing the full image.
Yeah.
So the thing is that these letterbox ones were not what we later termed as anamorphic, which is to say that hey hot takes, I can send you a link if you want to just chat real quick. Just give me a minute. So like they had the letterboxing and then it was anamorphic widescreen, which is to tell you that the DVD understood whether you had a square TV, and then it was normal, or if you had a widescreen TV, it would actually fit the proper ratio. But some movies, anything that was done like a 70 millimeter or something like that was really long,
really
like
small.
Like Ben-Hur, Lawrence of Arabia, these big epic films, which are like huge. They're like they're still gonna have bars on top and bottom. But now stuff like Dragon Ball Z, which was a TV show, doesn't have bars on the side, which it should because it was made for TV. It's formatted for TV. So the Blu-rays, they made it go up a little bit and zoomed it in. So that's the thing. So it's really messed up. So again, depending on how nerdy you want to be on these formats, you might have to really read the back. Because I just threw in Hard Rain. We're doing a Hard Rain live stream tomorrow on the Action Elite, guys. So join us tomorrow on the Action Elite. We're talking about Hard Rain, one of my favorite action movies. So again, this is so brutal, but I was going to watch the DVD and I'm like, oh crap, I don't think this DVD is anamorphic. So it's
an old one.
It's an old one. And I'm like, oh man, so now I got to get an updated version of Hard Rain, because you definitely want to have the better version of that.
I don't know if you can even find that. I don't know if it was one of those ones that just never got properly released.
I don't know.
It's like the Ghost in the Darkness. Like that's another one that's really good. Right. People ask about all the time, and it's never what's going on with that one either. Proper format.
All right. Okay, so I wanted to also.
My dog falls asleep through movies, so yeah.
Oh, he's asking me. I got this guy. He's
Cool.
from Dino Fury. I got Pink. Let me full screen it. So I got Pink.
Yep.
This is an odd
Weapon? Yeah, I know I was gonna say that, but I
That
was
is
like,
an
you know
odd
what? I'll
weapon.
bite my tongue.
Looks like a mace.
It's a mace thingy, and I grabbed this just because this is the Slayer Ranger,
Okay.
Pink Slayer. This is from the comics, I believe. It just looks cool. So now you get these keys. So this one has these kinds of keys. Put into the morpher.
Oh.
So it's like you put into the morpher, and then it does stuff. So this is different than the Beast morphers, because Beast morphers had like longer keys that you plug in. I always buy the morphers. I love keys I love things that plug into other stuff, and then depending on what you plug in, it makes a different noise or something. I don't know. I just think those are really neat. So now in the show, these flip open and they don't do shit on here. They're just like that. Okay. So am I the only one who actually liked the recent Power Rangers film? No, I liked it. It wasn't Power Rangers enough, but it's not garbage. Like they tried to treat the characters and everything with respect, but they kind of eliminated some of the coolness. I don't know if they just accidentally eliminated the coolness and thought that they weren't doing that, because like there's not enough, like the fights that are there are okay, but there's not enough Power Ranger-isms, right? Like
Yeah.
you know
They
what I
tried
mean?
to ground it, but the thing is, Power Rangers isn't really grounded. You need to strike a balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I will say this. This has been my stance on every single property that's ever been redone. That's going to go into Miami Vice, the film, Miami Vice film, the Starsky and Hutch film, all of the what Dukes of Hazzard, all of these other properties, old shows, whatever, A-Team, any of these ones. None of them have ever really captured really what the original was, even Power Rangers. However, I'd rather err on the side of being serious than err on the side of being really dumb. Because Starsky and Hutch ends up making fun of Starsky and Hutch, where that show was not. There was
Not
some
that
fun,
at all. Yeah.
not that at all. There was some fun. The fun parts of that show was the interaction between Starsky and Hutch, because they were cool together and they would play off each other. But it wasn't stupid silliness like this movie was. Now Miami Vice, same thing. Now the movie went a little bit maybe a little bit too serious. Like it was almost like this super heavy cop drama, but I'd rather that than it didn't catch the tone exactly, but I'd rather that than it make fun of Miami Vice. Like when we went to go see Miami Vice, I thought, oh, are they going to make fun of it? Cause I really don't want that. And they didn't make fun of it, but they made it so serious that you're almost like, oh, this
was
isn't
boring.
really...
And I honestly, honest to God, ask me what that movie's about. I couldn't fucking tell you, man.
I can't tell you.
Jesus Christ, it's like a fever dream. It's like
I know.
Michael Mann has a habit of doing that.
Yeah, but it didn't make fun of the show. Like I'll take that. Like I don't want to walk out throwing up, being like, this is a disgrace. Like I just walked out and thought that was all right. You know, it was a little bit, too dramatic, but that, whatever. But like Starsky and Hutch is an awful piece of trash.
Yeah.
A-Team was okay too. Like A-Team, it still had a little.
Good.
Yeah, it had some fun bits, right?
It was the A-Team. I felt.
My only criticism of A-Team was I couldn't see the action.
Right, and this other thing that's been plaguing the crap out of all these movies. It's like this not seeing the action or whatever. It's just brutal.
Yeah, but now critics speak up about it. It's like it used to be just an accepted, like, unspoken thing, and now like Snake Eyes came out, and that was the one critique of it. It's like you can't see anything. It's like, well, good. I mean, it took you like 15 years to wake up, but sure.
Yeah. I don't like this either. This effect.
Yeah.
Where someone's talking and it's like this.
Oh, like trying to make it look like a documentary.
Yeah, that was like Battlestar Galactica, the new show. Literally, we watched the first episode. My wife's like, I can't take it. So it's been like I don't know how many decades since that show's come out. So she's seen more shows like that. Like that's become more norm. So we're gonna go back.
NYPD Blue, I think, was the first time I noticed that.
You noticed that? Yeah.
You know where I noticed it was strangely enough Modern Family, but I think that's what they were going for. Where it's
Modern Family is
supposed to look like a mockumentary, right?
Yeah, that now that's okay, and I feel that it works okay with comedy, but it does not work well when you're trying to dramatically have like a big dialogue with someone, like, oh, what are we gonna do? And it's like,
you know who's the worst for that is I think Michael Bay. I think you can see it in The Rock, where it's like he'll have a shot here and it's zoomed in, or it's like here or here, and I'm like. He's always got like like 3 cameras moving, and I remember watching Ed Harris an interview of him about making The Rock, and he hated working with Michael Bay, and he basically said like, you know, he reminds me a bit of James Cameron. He thinks he's James Cameron, but he's like, I had the same problem with him. I had James Cameron. He's like, why do you have like 6 cameras going at once?
Hello.
What's up?
Can you just have one? Like,
Yeah.
Can I ask you
Hey,
a
hot takes.
favor? Yeah,
I
no, go
think
on.
what's going on is that like they're trying to make it seem like the movie is more interesting than it really is. They're not letting the story and plot and acting and characters, they're not letting that shine. They're trying to make it seem like it's interesting and there's always some movement or flow. It's like, just trust in your script. Oh, wait, it's Michael Bay, so the script's crap, right? Or, you know, even if he's not writing it, he's still making it crap.
I was going to ask a quick favor.
Can you hear us, hot takes?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, my internet's
Yeah, okay,
my
cool.
internet's having some weird. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, because I can't
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
hot takes.
Oh, really?
That's weird.
Wow. Huh,
He
that's
wants
weird.
he wants to ask a favor.
Ask
Yeah,
the panel, and then they'll tell me.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to know what time it is and what time zone you're in, because I'm trying to set like
It's
something.
7:27 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, it's 7:30 our time.
7:27
something's up
Eastern.
with my. See, again,
So
I'm waiting for my new laptop. My cousin's getting me one. They just got a bunch of brand new laptops from their place, and they're giving those away. So it's like I'm gonna grab a brand new one, but it's not here yet. It's probably gonna be another week, so I have to go through this garbage until. But see, like it's like if you didn't join with me right away, or within a minute or two, it's like that's it. Okay. I'm gonna remove you and put you back, hot takes. Let's see if that does anything.
I'm gonna refill.
Sean's taking this opportunity to go drink.
Yeah.
Oh, can you? Did you do it already?
Yeah, I got you. Now
oh, fantastic. Okay,
all right,
cool.
Go. So what are your thoughts on this whole thing with, you know, action films where you can't see the fights very clearly, or that or this effect where someone's talking and it's like,
Bam.
you know, it's all shaky. I hate that.
Oh, what, like Man of Steel?
We're not gonna beat that. We beat that up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna table that for right now.
And we got such abuse as well. Like I couldn't believe just 2 guys talking about a film they don't like, and we got major abuse for it. But anyway, so the question was shaky. I think anything really can be done well. You know, it's not always going to be bad, but if you're talking about in general as a rule, do I like it? Probably not. I think I have the same kind of feeling towards it, but I'm sure at some point I've seen it done well. You know, maybe Cloverfield was all right in places, but that was like purposefully using that to heighten the
non-story.
Yeah. The non-story. Do you know what? People hate Cloverfield. I think it's a really good movie. I think it's solid.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think I was just like, oh, there's gonna be this cool monster. I'm like, where's the monster? And I thought this is like me running around downtown Toronto and filming it and being like, oh, it was a monster chasing me. I'm like,
Yeah. And I felt the relationship was really unearned. It's just like he likes her and action. It's like,
yeah, no,
they're just using it as a clothing line to hang their thing on.
I was just like, dude, like, what is your thing with this girl? I mean, I know she's beautiful. I know she's beautiful and everything, but you know what's more beautiful than her? Fucking life, man.
Life is beautiful.
What was his name? Like Richard? There was a guy in there named Richard. I really like they yelled that name like 400. I'm like, they should have called this movie Richard or whatever it was.
Yeah. Like it's like he killed his brother. He killed everyone to save this chick. It was just like, what? How she's gonna be traumatized the next day? Like, by how many of her friends he had killed to save her?
Is there any found footage movie? I think that we like. I think I liked Record, which is called Wreck or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think I like that one.
Quarantine was the one I'm thinking of.
That is Record.
Oh.
Quarantine and Record are the same movie.
Right.
Yeah, the Spanish one is that was good.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was a good one, I think.
Yeah, that was good. I was going to say there's obviously that one with the CP, like the kids who can use telekinesis.
Oh, Chronicle.
Chronicle, that's good.
Chronicle.
I never saw.
I thought that was good. You're going to say you think that sucks as well?
No,
I
okay.
didn't see Chronicle because is J.J. Abrams tied to that movie?
I don't know.
Is he?
I don't know. For some reason,
Probably.
I thought he was, and I thought, I can't watch it.
I'm gonna look it
If
up.
J.J. Abrams' name appears on anything, I run away. Sometimes so fast that I hit a wall. I'm like,
What is it? Are you a Star Trek snob? Is it the Star Trek movies or is it the Star Wars?
It's
both.
movies in general.
I don't like any of his movies. I didn't like it. I didn't like Mission Impossible 3. We saw Mission Impossible 3 in the theater, and I threw up. I'm like, this is awful. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, who's this?
That was
J.J.
Abrams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like Mission Impossible.
He directed that.
He directed
Yeah.
it.
He directed
Oh
it.
shit! Okay.
I
I've
think
never
he
seen
wrote
the
it
Mission.
too. Right?
I've only seen one of the Mission Impossible films. So.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst one and the only one that I won't rewatch. And I don't like the Star Trek. It's not even like, I mean, it's not Star Trek. I mean, that's just the that's just the bottom line. It's not Star Trek.
Why is it not
20%
Star
different.
Trek?
I've seen every Star Trek thing. Yeah, I've seen every Star Trek series minimum 3 times. Deep Space Nine 5 times. Voyager, I'm on my 4th run.
Oh man, I love it. I love it.
Rewatch them all. Like I just go through them
That's so
all
cool.
and then rewatch them again.
All right, so who's the best captain? Rank the captains. Let's rank the captains.
Oh,
together.
you're not. People are going to be so angry at me.
I think they're going to be more pissed at me.
No.
Oh, Sean, you're so close.
No, dude, yeah. Okay, let's go from 4. We'll give our 4. Who are we doing? We're just doing the 4 series, or are we adding Enterprise as well? I can't really speak on Enterprise too much. The song at the beginning just put me off to the point where I was just like, I'm not watching this shit.
I'll tell you right now, I like.
It's just like, what is going on? Like that. Yeah. Anyway, go.
No, I like all the captains a lot. I really like everybody.
Okay. So let's start with 5, though. We'll
the
go
weakest
for 5.
captain. Oh my God, are you guys ready? You're not ready for this. Jean-Luc Picard.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't get into him. I don't know. To me, Riker.
You're right.
Riker's the man to me.
His character in the beginning of that show is weird because he's supposed to be a curmudgeonly old man that doesn't like kids.
Yeah.
And then they did away with that because that's stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah.
God.
Okay, so that's that. And then I'm gonna
say, wait. Let's go across. So who's
okay, yeah.
Yeah. We'll do that like 5. Right. Like.
So Steve, have you seen Enterprise or not?
I haven't seen enough to rank. I'll watch this one. I'll sit this one out.
Okay, so Sean,
weakest one?
Weakest.
Frick, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Bakula's character, man. I can't remember his name though.
Archer.
Yeah. Archer. But you know what? I could easily make a strong case for Picard because just in terms of character and decision making, and maybe it's because his show lasted longer than Kirk, but he's able to make bad decisions. But
right.
God, you make I'm gonna say Bakula just be different.
All right, okay.
I mean, I'm gonna go like I really think Next Generation is overrated. Like I can't. To me, it's just like he is boring. The cast is not like as cool as people make out. I think it's just because it was the second one, right?
Yeah.
Like that everyone like rates that one so highly. I definitely, without a doubt, it's Picard is like my 4th.
Yeah.
I can't do Archer. He'd probably be last, considering I just don't like the tone of that show. But yeah,
I think I got I'm really torn on a lot of this because I love all the Star Treks, but like some of them, for me in terms of the series, it's like what I feel for the characters because all of the stories are pretty good, right? The stories are going to be pretty good. But next gen weakest cast. Like to me, it's Data's fucking awesome and Riker's cool, and then I don't care about anyone else.
Yeah, right.
I don't care about anybody. It's like I don't know, but like Voyager and Deep Space Nine, I literally love everybody. Like everybody is the damn best. I love.
Oh well, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Okay. Everybody knows that these guys all know I'm a Deep Space Nine super mega fanatic.
Okay. Well, I get it.
But we're doing captains though, and I'm doing captains not by the character. So the way I'm going to rank these characters, it's not that I like this character less than this other character. I'm talking about being the captain. So
I'm talking about liking. Like, who do I like most?
Liking?
But part of it is how good a captain they are, how entertaining they are as a captain as well. So like, it all kind of like
all right.
And I'm saying, Picard for me is the least interesting captain, like least fun to watch. He's just not a cool, like he's the captain I'd least want to have a drink with. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so then it would be Archer. And only because his show, the last couple seasons were not very interesting to me. It lost its way a little bit. But he himself is good. And I would have, starting from here and up, I'd have, dinner
drinks,
or drinks with any of them. So I like Archer would be next. Sean, what about you?
Second least?
Second least, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Was he a captain?
Yeah, I was about to say.
He was a really good one.
You did my Jesus.
Man.
You rank Kirk over Jesus?
Probably Picard.
Yeah, but Buddha's better than Jesus, though.
Yeah, Picard is awesome and everything, but like I feel like his character's all over the place. If you like, I rewatched them a couple of years ago, and I think that Patrick Stewart's a great actor, of course.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And did
I don't know he is, but okay, fair enough.
No, I feel he is, but like the thing is,
he is. He's very like the same in every role.
You gotta watch Life Force. Watch Life Force.
I'll watch Life Force. Life Force.
I feel like they have him doing a lot of weird stuff to try and humanize him, but then in the end, he's bubblegum. He's like a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. I don't even know what he's gonna think. And some may think that's interesting. I just think it's confusing and frustrating. So probably Picard.
Picard, okay. No, so that's funny because most people would put Picard like possibly even top, which I don't. That makes no sense to me.
No way.
I'm gonna go third, and I really hate to put this guy here as third because I love it. Like just like you, after this, it's all good. Like it's all gravy from like here. This guy was cool as shit, and he just had a sense of like his commanding presence and like just balls and like and that's Cisco. I love the guy. He's really good captain. You have to get into that series and like watch it episode to episode. It's not an episodic show. It's a show that you really need to follow through the whole thing. So sometimes I find it a little bit hard to get into that one as much, but he's entertaining. He's always like one of the coolest aspects of that show. So I still need to get through the whole thing, but I like that show a lot. It's probably my second favorite Star Trek, but anyway, Cisco, the man.
Yeah, I would say Cisco next as well. I'm cheating a little bit because Cisco was technically commander for the longest time until they gave him the Defiant to give him that captain's chair to put. I think they did that just to put him on the level with everybody else.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine is my favorite. I love every character. That's probably my favorite. That's like my second favorite TV show of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, it's
I
badass.
love Kira, everybody, Quark. I literally every other episode I will get choked up, and nothing will happen. I'll just get choked up. It's like Quark will do one little thing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the best. I love everybody. So Cisco, and Avery Brooks is freaking awesome. Anytime I see that guy, he's the best. Anytime I see him in interviews, I'm like, oh my god, he's such a cool person in real life.
Yeah,
it's almost hard to separate because the next person who's going to be next is kind of a weirdo in real life, but Avery Brooks is cool in real life. and he's just awesome. I don't know. So okay, so Sean, how about you? Now we're
getting to the crunch.
Now we're getting
Yeah. God. Is Janeway the most badass one? I feel like she brandishes guns a lot. God in heaven. I'm gonna go with
He's going from Jesus to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
from the Son to the Father.
Let's see how he goes to next.
I'll go with Janeway for this one. Janeway had some great decision making in Deep Space Nine. I know a lot of people didn't like the character at first. Then I mean, after what, like 7 seasons or something, she's consistent. I find, and I think she makes a lot of hard, tough decisions, and she's fairly badass. She's fairly fucking badass compared to a lot of other Star Trek characters. So yeah, it's I feel like Voyager is a very underrated show.
I agree.
And there's a lot of hours of episodes that people can dive into now. I mean, it's on Netflix and stuff. So I'd say third. I mean, all of these are number one. These next three to me,
Right.
but yeah, if you have to rank them, third, I suppose. Yeah.
No, I agree with everything you said there. I'm going to throw a little bit of a monkey wrench in this one.
Yeah.
Since you did have 5, I'm going to put number 3, Chris Pine, as Captain Kirk.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to count him. I'm not going to count him as the same Kirk, right? He's going to be my number 3, and the reason, I just think he does a boss job. I don't care what you think about those movies. He does a boss job at being the captain. I think he adds layers to it and charisma and everything that you'd want from Kirk. That he's got to be one of the best recastings of a character ever. And yeah, maybe if he had better material, it would it would work out a little bit better. Obviously, he's not as good as the Icon, but like he deserves a mention. He's pretty solid as Captain Kirk.
All right, so we got 2 left. So top 2.
They don't even want to say anything to that. They're just gonna.
I can't stand those movies. I despise them. I have nothing against Chris Pine, but I literally can't. I can't. I have nothing against it. And we said this. We saw him in the theater, and we're like, "Well, Carl Urban's doing his best. Everyone's doing their best, but the script does not support them."
They're a good cast, dude. I like those movies, but like they are a good cast, no matter what. I can understand why Star Trek people don't like them. Is what I'm trying to get at. But like they're a fucking good cast.
So my number 2 would be Janeway, and this is because number 2 would be Janeway because I Voyager is super underrated. This is weird. I think maybe original Star Trek, the original series is the best, but my favorite is Deep Space Nine. And then if I had to pick a second favorite, it would be very close between original series and Voyager.
Yeah.
Voyager, I would say 90% of the cast is the damn best. Like Janeway's crazy. She's awesome. She's my favorite. I loved her immediately from the opening of that first episode. I'm like, she's the best. She has made so many difficult decisions. And so I repeat, we're on Voyager right now in my cycle.
Yeah.
And so I just watched one today before coming here. It was the one where Chakotay and her are stranded on this planet, and they're kind of falling in love, but then something happens. Right?
Yeah.
So, but the one before that was Tuvix, where Neelix and Tuvok got merged into one, and she's like, "I'm making the call. We're splitting you up." And Tuvix is like, "No, I don't want to die." She's like, "That's it. We're making the call." And the thing is that they could have so easily made that decision easy. They could have had the doctor say, "Oh, Tuvix won't survive. The merging process didn't, gave some kind of imbalance, and he's going to die in a month." And then Janeway's like, "Okay, well, we better separate him." Tuvix is like, "I don't want to be separated," and she's like, "I'm making the call. You are being separated."
Yeah.
And then when she walked out, she was about to cry, but then she just got herself back. She's like, "The decision's made. It's done."
I love Janeway, dude. I love fucking her. Janeway. And they often say like like you can just swap like certain strong female characters for a man. Like if they'd be the exact same thing, right? If you just had them as a man, right? It does
Right.
happen. Like say Ripley or something,
Sure.
or Sarah Connor or something.
Yeah.
Sarah Connor, obviously, there's
She's the mom.
technically you can't because she's a mum, but everything else about her is like you could just swap her basically, like for a dude, and it wouldn't like really make that much of a difference, at least in the second movie.
Right.
Janeway is great at what she does specifically because she's a woman. And I love that. They need to craft more characters, like not trying to, do anything like and she's also not like some, although I used to find her quite hot for some strange reason. But but she's also not like just some action babe, like some sex bomb or whatever. She is just a great fucking captain and does things in a way that only I think a woman would do, but like she's really smart and like intelligent and capable and all of those things. But one thing, I've got a couple of hot takes though on this. Because I've got hot takes Tuesday, and I can't do them on my channel because none of these guys watch Star Trek. So here's my hot take. Tuvok is the best Vulcan of all time. He's better than Spock. He's
one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. But I own the Tuvok doll, the big doll. I love Tuvok. I love Vulcans.
Tuvok
Romulans.
Was amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
Tim Russ.
All right, I'm gonna give you the reasons because I'm sure you don't, but just to make sure that in case anyone suspects this is not a black thing. This is not like he's black. I like him.
We're far beyond that kind of thinking here.
I know.
We all love Janeway, and we're all men.
Yeah, right, exactly. So first of all, his performance is incredible, but second, he had some funny ass lines. He was so witty with it, right? Like he was just like some of the lines he did, and then the last thing I fucking love about Tuvok, he was unashamedly Vulcan.
Yes,
it wasn't like some fucking story where every time it's like, oh, this is why human beings are really better than Vulcans, and like Spock was always like finding his human side and finding how emotions are better. Tuvok was like, nah, bitches, being logical is better than what you do, and I'm gonna show you like every single time. So I loved him. I thought it was such a great performance, and when he got something to do, when they gave him something to do, he nailed it. But they didn't use him enough in the last few seasons, I think.
Yeah, because 7 of 9 in the Doctor, it became the Doctor 7 show.
Pretty and thank you. This is my next hot take, last hot take. 7 fucking ruined the show. I don't fucking like her. I really don't like her. She pissed me off. For the first season she was in it, cool. After that, it was every fucking episode was about her. And you know what? I like the Ocampa. Was it Ocampa? Cass? I liked her better. And I thought she was hotter.
Well, I'm not sure about that statement, but I do like Kes. I think the thing with Kes is that Kes really formed a bond with every other character, and different bonds. You know, Paris kind of liked her, so they had a little bit of a cute little relationship. She loves Neelix, but her and Tuvok had a great relationship. Tuvok was her mentor. She had different relationships with everybody, whereas 7 was really just always talking to Janeway about stuff, and it's like, well, I don't know.
It became the typical trope of Star Trek where it's like humans are better, basically. It's like humanity is somehow better. Like, you get this character who's more logical or reasonable, like Data or Spock or whatever, and it's always every episode is a parable of why human emotions and feeling is somehow superior to what they do. And I can't stand that trope. It's just boring to me. I like when they celebrate the differences between the species rather than trying to, and that's what Janeway and Tuvok had. It was like they complemented each other rather than, like each one trying to prove he's better or superior to,
I think the problem though is the product of the time period of the original series where they made Spock half human so they could have those times where he sometimes succumbs, and they didn't want to, because when they first originally did him, they're like, whoa, he looks like Satan, and they're like, this is going to creep people out and all that. So they had to they dialed it back, and then there's always jokes at his expense, like, oh, Spock, what do you think of this? And he's like, oh, whatever, and you're just like, But that show was so forward thinking that like I can ignore.
Oh no, but it was original then. That's the difference. In the first series, it was an original idea to explore, but then they just did it every series. And then they didn't do that in Star Trek Voyager at first, and then you got fucking seven.
So wait, we're all saying Kirk's number one? Tiberius
so I don't know who. So who was it? Sean?
Yeah, Kirk's number one, Cisco's number two.
Oh, Cisco. I'm sorry, we missed your Cisco. Yeah, so Cisco's number two. Cisco is awesome.
He's awesome. Yeah. He hit Q. Done and done. I don't think anyone punched Q, so like it's finished.
That was awesome. Yeah. He's like, Picard never hit me. He's like, I'm not
fucking Picard.
Like, I'm fucking taking care of business on this space station, buddy. We're not pussyfooting around here and playing freaking mind games and shit. It's like, get out of here. Cisco took care of business. That's a fucking why I like that guy.
Absolutely.
He came on there. He's like, listen, this is how this is going to run, and then shut your mouth. And it's like, and I love Kira, and I love Kira. And when she came in there, she was complaining. He's like, look, he goes, don't go behind my back and don't try to go around saying shit when I make the order. She's like, whoa, I'm sorry. And then he straightened her out. Episode 2 or 3, it's like straighten that shit out.
No,
now.
Straight up. Here's the thing about Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek, because the original Star Trek had a good cast. They just didn't use them enough.
Right.
But like the Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek Deep Space Nine didn't have a gelding in the bunch, right? Every character was interesting in their own right. I didn't dig Chakotay that much, but I could watch an episode about him. He was entertaining, and they mixed it up enough, right, where it wasn't just following like two characters until a certain robot lady came onto the show. But like until then they mixed it up, so you never know if it's going to be an episode about Tom Paris. It's going to be and so you never got bored of any of the characters, and all of them were great fucking actors, like playing the roles. So in both shows. So and by the way, mine is definitely the cowboy, the John Wayne of space, bro.
James Tiberius
Janeway, and then James Tiberius Kirk, bro.
Who had a different middle name, I think, at one point, didn't he? I think there was a thing where he had. I think there was one where they said James R. Kirk or something, and then they changed it later.
He's just keep banging anything in the universe. I loved him.
There you go. Yeah, he's got. And I think too, just to praise Voyager for just one more second, and then we can move on or whatever. But like, when you had the female characters like B'Elanna and Janeway and stuff talking. And then you had the Deanna Troi and the Dr. Crusher, who I could not stand, the two of them. The dialogue is so different, and there's no excuse for, it's old, it's from the 60s. This is modern writing, and they would always gossip and shit, and you're like, guys, come up with something better to talk about here. And they're doing the old trope of, the ladies get together and gossip. And B'Elanna and Janeway talked about science. They're like, okay, what are we going to do? And they got shit done. Like, B'Elanna's like, okay, fuck, we need to change these dilithium crystals. Okay, get on top of it. And it wasn't like, it's like, what do you think about Riker? Oh, I still like him. I don't know. It's like, okay, what's going on? Like, I don't care. Like,
to me, the best unsung cast is the original cast. Whenever I see that unaired pilot, I sort of weep for what could have been, because I like the old Dr. Man. I like Major Barrett's sort of second in command woman. I like her. They're all great, but like they had that one, and then they said, let's retool this. Spock just yelled every line. So they changed his character. He's like, he's like,
they had to. We need proper Spock, man. Like, we need proper Spock.
No offense to Leonard Nimoy, by the way. I love Spock as well, but like Tuvok's just my guy.
Yeah, but I bought the big. I have all the Volk. I have the Spock toys.
What
But
have
I've
you
got
got
the
it
big
around
two-box.
you, or is it like it's too far to?
It's in. I have another room where I have like some Star Trek stuff. So I have like a Star Trek shelf,
Cool.
and I do have the 7 of 9 doll as well. But I bought that because I thought it might be worth something.
Do you like 7 of 9? Is it just me?
Yes.
I can't stand her. I really can't. She's
No.
just every episode was about her. It was so
I didn't like
fucking
that.
boring.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I like 7 of 9, but I don't love her, and I don't think she should monopolize the show. And I noticed that her and the Doctor too it was always seemed like it was like Tom Paris,
Yeah.
and then it'd be 7 Doctor, Janeway, 7 Doctor, 7, and then it might be
Yeah.
Neelix, and then it was like
And even
7 Doctor.
The actress, and I completely fucking agree with her. I'm sorry, Janeway did like the what's her name again? She didn't
Kate
fucking
Mulgrew.
like it. She was like, dude, we've had this great female characters and they're strong and they're independent. And just as you said, they talk about science and they get shit done. And now you've just got this,
Babe.
sex babe, whatever, just for all the horny boys to watch the show or whatever the fuck. And it's literally all the show, like quite often just became about like which crew member fancied her
Jerry Ryan,
and who was going to get with her. It's like fucking hell, like what's going on? This used to be a really cool show.
Yeah, when they made that Picard show, that's the character they brought back from Voyager. It's like there's tons of other guys, but
and it doesn't even make sense. That's why I didn't watch that trash. Picard's friend was Beverly Crusher. Picard's friend is Beverly Crusher. They're the ones who were there's always a relation whenever you're watching these shows, there's always a relationship that's always been like sort of off the ship. So that was the two of them, and then Riker and Troy were the two. But Crusher and Picard had a thing, they're friends. So if someone's gonna come back, but I guess Gates McFadden doesn't look as good as Jerry Ryan does, so they brought Jerry Ryan back. And now apparently she can be lesbian. So I always thought that you can't choose who you're attracted to, but apparently now you can. It's like it goes against they try in doing this representation. It literally spits in the face of people who actually are gay, because you're saying, oh, you could just choose who you're attracted to. It's like, no, you can't. Right. So you're literally spitting in people's faces, and the Star Trek fans are like, what is this shit? Like, why is she? When was she ever friends with Picard? Ever? Like, she's so dumb.
To me, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. Like it's like the concept of a strip club has never made sense to me. It's just like why. So because an attractive woman is on the show, you're gonna find the show more. I don't get that.
I don't get
like
it
unless
either.
the characters. I don't mind a character or an actress being attractive if she's a good character. It doesn't bother me. But like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, she's got it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Like the visual aspect is. It's not going to satisfy me in any other way. So anyway, to be crude about it, but
I'll take B'Elanna with her forehead over Jerry Ryan. Like B'Elanna's a character who gets shit done. Like she solves problems. Jerry Ryan is just there. It's like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's like, well, then just get off the ship. Like, I don't know. Like, do something. Like,
to be fair, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But to be fair, I don't blame Jerry Ryan.
No, I don't mean her. I meant the character, like Seven. It's like the character is just there, and it's like now we have to try to make her more human because humans are the best. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. So what else is going on? Are you gonna go see Suicide Squad? I saw you start to do something about will the Suicide Squad, like how will it rank in the DC? I think you just did that. Was that just today? I think.
Yeah, and I have to get off soon because I'm going to watch the Suicide Squad. I'm going to do a watch party.
Oh, cool.
Any of you can join me, by the way. But yeah, what was your question?
No, I so did you solve? Because every time people do these streams, I'm usually at my day job, so I see it pop up on my phone. And so did you guys figure out where you think it's going to rank in the DC films, or?
I think people are going to think it's one of the better ones, but I personally, I'm not. I understand why people don't like the Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad from 2016. I understand it, but I don't think it's that bad. I quite enjoyed it at the time, and every time I watch it, I quite enjoy it. It doesn't, and there's several comic book movies I'd prefer not to watch before the Suicide Squad. I do think the Joker was awful, and whatever. So I don't know. It depends on how obnoxious James Gunn is, because I find his frat boy humor bullshit. I don't like it.
Much.
He's a good storyteller. He definitely is great with the visuals, and he's got a great imagination. But that frat boy humor is just like it's too much. It's grating for me, and I can't vibe with it. And he's being let off the leash. He hasn't even got PG-13 to like. So it depends on how obnoxious that is. But I might even like the old Suicide Squad more than this, to be honest.
Well, so Steve is sort of out of the three of us, he's, in terms of comic books, he's the most up to date in Suicide Squad, and I haven't read the latest issue, but Steve, you've read every series starting from when? Do you remember?
New 52.
So New 52.
Oh, cool.
So
and
I mean,
what
are your thoughts? Like, what do you think? We never really talked about this. Like, are you excited for this movie? Like, just you? I mean, like,
right. Well, I definitely get what Hot Takes is saying about James Gunn, because I'm a little bit concerned. Like, there is humor in the Suicide Squad. I think we talked about that last time, and usually it's coming from Harley Quinn,
right?
And this time it sounds
maybe like Boomerang.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, again, this is going to come from Harley Quinn. And I'm like, if she's jokey in the movie, that is actually pretty accurate to Suicide Squad. She usually jokey right through it, right? Like, they're like, dead shots usually like the, we got to do this. And then, Harley Quinn will be off making jokes. Like, I always remember the one where they went into space, because I'm like, of course, the Suicide Squad has to go into space at some point. Mm-hmm. And like, they have the helmets, and Killer Croc got motion sickness or something.
Right.
He started throwing up in his helmet, and like that shot says something like, "Oh, we have to, go over here and do this." And she's like, "Oh, great!" Like, Killer Croc's going to throw up in his helmet again. She's like, "I'm going to throw up in my helmet at this rate," sort of thing.
Right.
She's not serious, but that's fine, because you accept that as the Harley Quinn character. Now, if he confines the humor to that, it will be accurate. But if it's like, Peacemaker's making jokes, and Polka Dot Man's making jokes, and everyone's making jokes, then it's kind of like, because what people don't realize is that, yes, like, there's that jokey element to the team sometimes. Harley Quinn does it because she's nuts, right? And she's totally like, that's her character. But the Suicide Squad missions are serious. And this is going to be the problem. If you got a bunch of wisecracking guys, and you got Starro, who I assume is the villain, who took over the Justice League at one point.
Right.
Like,
bad choice for villain.
I don't want this gang of schmucks doing this. Like, I want, like, it's got to be a serious thing. Like, the Suicide Squad missions are always serious. Always
right,
serious.
Exactly.
And
exactly. And you know what? I saw that stupid trailer where John Cena's like Amanda Waller is talking to these guys, and so she mentions the starfish, and he says something along the lines of, "Oh, it's a starfish. Starfish is also code for like butthole. Is there any connection?" I just was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
First of all, Amanda Waller would have just blown your head off if you said that.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I really wanted to happen. I wish she just blew his fucking head off when he said that.
I was going to say,
I have to bounce out though, but like, go on.
Okay.
I want to hear everyone's view of what.
Well, I was just going to say that I feel like the last movie and probably this one are exactly what Hollywood would do with Suicide Squad, and that's it's like, you're not going to get actual Suicide Squad from the comics. I know some people online are like, this isn't like the comics, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think that's ever going to happen. The wisecracking, butthole jokes, big stars. They fight a supervillain rather than take down like
a
a Rogue
dictator
Nation
or
something like that.
something.
Well,
Right?
the
or whatever.
first one was tonally like the Suicide Squad. For me, it's the only thing it was missing was a story and a mission.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
if
They
it
should
had
have
a
fought
good
the
mission,
Joker.
yeah, if it had a good mission, that tonally it was like Harley Quinn was making jokes.
Yeah.
The Captain Boomerang was funny. Will Smith
Yeah.
was more serious, the
He
heart of
was
the
serious.
stuff thing,
Yeah.
and same with Rick Flag. So all of the dynamics were there. It was just there wasn't a story.
The story was missing. Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying though, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda Waller killing everyone in the room is plausible. I just don't understand why she did it in that circumstance. Like, it didn't make much sense.
It was kind of boss though.
Oh, well, I mean, it's Viola Davis.
But that-
Like, she makes everything look good. It was just like weird to me. Like, why did you have to shoot everyone?
Yeah, it's the writers like high fiving each other and like crotch chopping and going,
Yeah.
oh, it's fucking awesome. Oh! Like it's stupidness. It's grittiness for grittiness sake. There's no reason to it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Jay, man, before I go, man, what are your thoughts? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as a movie. I've got my two views. I always view everything as just a movie on its own, and then I view it as a comic book adaptation. So, like, I always give the example of the sort of the Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises, which might be a fun movie, but it's not a great representation of Batman. That sort of I like Batman Begins as a movie and a good representation of Batman, but then I feel that the movies are still okay, but they become less good representations of Batman as it
I'm
goes.
a Batman Begins guy. Man, we've got too much in common, dude.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think this is gonna be a fun movie, but I don't think it's Suicide Squad, because to me, Suicide Squad's like Justice League. You need to know these characters to see them work together. Because now you've got a bunch of characters all together. It's like, but if they're all jokey and they're all juvenile humor, then none of them are like, if I can't, like, if Peacemaker can say the same lines as King Shark, who can say the same lines as, I don't know, like the other Polka Dot Man or something, then what am I watching? Right? Like, it's like Superman and Batman. If I just hear the dialogue or if I read the dialogue, I should be able to tell, oh, this is Batman talking or this is Superman talking. And Suicide Squad, it sounds like if you just close your eyes, you'll be like, I don't know what character that is. It's just someone making a joke, right?
Right, exactly. And to be fair, some of the MCU movies I feel a little bit similar about as well.
I agree.
But
I agree.
I've got us to bust.
All right.
It's been lovely catching up with you again, man.
Cool, man.
And Sean, as you as Steve. Yeah, enjoy. I don't know if any of you want to join the watch along at some point. Let me know. Anyway,
cool.
Peace.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks.
Take care.
All right.
All right. So Steve, what are your thoughts on what I just said about are the Suicide Squad members? They're more distinct because they're villains that were kind of underused. Wasn't that the point of it?
Something really scared me a bit when Sean actually mentioned where he's like, "Oh, I think King Shark is going to be like the big kahuna, like surfer guy," and I'm like, I mean, there's wrong and there's wrong. Like King Shark, like Killer Croc fills a specific circumstance, certain role in the Suicide Squad, which is you don't go near them. Like in the Suicide Squad, I think it's New 52, Yo-Yo, like King Shark ate him, and they were on the same team.
Right.
Like he ate him, and then like issues later, Yo-Yo, he spat out Yo-Yo, and Yo-Yo's like, "Oh my God, I was in there for so long," and they're like, "Get back in there." He's like, "What?" And there was a reason he had to get back in there, and he's like, "No, save me!" Like, and King Shark eats. He's a carnivore. He just eats people. You don't go near this guy on the Suicide Squad. He's not like Hang 10 and all. Like he's the scariest member of the team. Like the members won't even go near him. You're not sure if he's going to kill his own team. So
what about Flash? In Flash he seems a lot more sinister than he does in this movie.
In Flash, he's better. He's a lot better. That's to me what King Shark is. I mean, it's like, it's like if we had Solomon Grundy in live action and he was cracking jokes, it would be weird. It's the same thing. Like in Flash, he's serious, and that's what King Shark is. Killer Croc, I never saw him as a jokey character. He was serious. Like these big, imposing characters are there to scare the audience and like, you know, make you nervous. Like the thing about the Suicide Squad is you have to keep remembering they're villains. They're all villains. They're not good guys. Like Flag is the only one who is not a criminal. All of the rest of them are criminals. Well, Katana's not a criminal either. But like they're all criminals. So they will turn on each other. Like there's a very uneasy bond. The only reason they're working together is because of the bomb in their neck. So,
so Sean, do you think the characters in the first Suicide Squad Part 1, do you think they were better than what this is going to be? Like just the way that they behaved? Because I don't think they were all the same. Like to me, they seemed distinctly different. Like El Diablo seemed like, look, he's like, I'm not.
No, they're all different.
They were all
like,
different. Like,
yeah, but that movie was so like chopped up and kind of strung together, right? And it's just you have to go along with it as a fun movie or not, right?
Yeah, not judging the quality of the film, but just the characterizations. Like each person seemed different. Like like Deadshot was like, look, I'm not messing around here, guys. We got to get this done.
Yeah, they tried to develop Deadshot simply because he's played by Will Smith, and but they gave him the typical sort of like he has a kid and he's doing this for the kid, which is kind of what they did with Sandman and Spider-Man 3. It's like I don't remember him having a daughter, but sure, and they show in one scene in that movie, and that's it. It's like kid, guys. What kid? He's robbing Brinks trucks. How much is this surgery? Like, what the hell is going on? Anyway,
they did screw up Sandman, but like Deadshot, that is comics. He is with the daughter, and
they're fine in that movie. I just think the movie itself didn't do him a good service. Just like Boomerang does jokes. There's not a lot to him, and there wasn't a lot to Killer Croc either.
I'll be honest.
So yeah,
Boomerang is a coward, and he's sort of funny. Like he is the guy who will make the juvenile jokes, right? Yeah. And he is the guy who will, and he'll be the first guy to run. But like Captain Boomerang is twisted. Like he kills someone in the Suicide Squad in Rebirth, and it's kind of like weird that he was the one, but he kills this character in cold blood. And it's just like because someone paid him to do it. And it's like, again, bing, these guys are villains. Like, these are not heroes. So it's a different reading experience when you read the Suicide Squad than like any other comic.
They should have had more of them. I know they paid lip service to it, but they should have had more of them trying to double cross each other. Yeah. And also trying to figure a way out of this, even if they did have a bomb in their head. Like trying to figure a clever way out of it or something. At every turn, it's like they're really. It's like this movie may be about them saving the world from these gods, but they're really about themselves. There should have been more of a sense of that. They had to develop a sense of camaraderie because they need to get the audience on board with these guys. But it's like then it's not really Suicide Squad anymore. And then listen, like Guardians of the Galaxy isn't Guardians of the Galaxy, but like it's A-Team in space, and that's not the comic. But it's like. They just have to endear themselves to the audience. So I have always questioned why I thought it's cool that they made a Suicide Squad movie. It's like no one knows what that is. They're thinking boldly, but like I've always questioned why they would bother doing that. It's like get your baseline straight first and then go to Suicide Squad, like Batman, Superman, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Suicide Squad's an interesting story if you do it right. But the characterization sort of goes sideways when Harvey's hanging out. I think it's a helicopter, and Waller orders Deadpool to shoot him, and he pretends to miss.
Yeah,
I'm like, that would never happen because Deadshot's got a reputation. He can't afford to miss. B, he doesn't care about Harley Quinn. Maybe he would.
It's a cool moment, though. That's the thing.
It's a cool
right?
moment.
I like that
moment. And that actually irked me. Like, if he had wounded her and he's like, oh, Waller, I'm not just going to shoot her. I'm not going to kill her because you said, but he wouldn't have missed. That was a huge mistake because Deadshot's entire reputation is on he doesn't miss. He never misses.
That's a bad superpower because he's going to miss
Yeah.
or not
Yeah,
too
but
powerful, whatever.
if he's aiming away from her and actually aiming at something, then he's not missing.
No, I know, but I'm saying just
I know
in
he's
general.
ordered to shoot her, but what does
I'm
he
not saying
wanna
in that
do?
movie. I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's never gonna shoot Batman in the mouth or whatever, right?
Nope.
So
Yeah.
it's like whatever. But okay, so let's Arkham asked earlier, do we think the Arrowverse is destined to be dead? Yeah, because a lot more content HBO. I don't know, because I mean
Isn't it dying anyways?
I mean, it seems like Superman and Lois is like going on the rise, and these other Flash seems to be kind of steady. Black Lightning is done. That, I mean, I was going to call it the Constantine show, but Constantine is gone now. Constantine is leaving Legends of Tomorrow, so now they're going to be left with like Legends of Tomorrow was a pile of shit that had like a little flower growing out of it, which was Constantine, and now they've removed that, so it's like now it's just a pile of shit. And I don't know what's going to happen with that horrendous movie. Batwoman, is there a season 3 of that garbage show coming out or what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah?
What a disgrace! what an absolute disgrace to the human beings out there who are artists and writers who are trying to make quality.
Are they not bringing back the old character but played by someone else now?
No, she left. She came back and she left.
No, but did they not recast her? I thought they did.
Yeah, they recast her. She came.
Now she's gone.
She left.
Okay.
So they recast her just to get rid of her.
Like
this is the writers of Batwoman. Look, if I made this many mistakes at my job, I'd be fired. Like, what is happening here? Get rid of these people. That show needs to just go away forever and never come back.
I can't wait to get the 4K season 2, man.
It won't be on 4K.
It's like, listen, the thing is, it's so reviled. I don't even know who watch. I think people hate watch it now because I see reviews of it, and it's like, why are you going through each episode? You know you hate it. Why are you forcing yourself to watch?
I stopped. I couldn't. Man, I couldn't do it when I can't do something. That's rough.
Thing, yeah.
Clobbering times. What's going on, dude? We're doing Judge Dredd. I'm going to be on Clobby's channel. We're talking about Dredd, not Judge Dredd. I'm sorry. Not Judge Dredd. We're talking about Dredd, but there might be some Judge Dredd overlap.
You're forgetting the show that's got a season 2, and I'm interested in is Stargirl.
Oh, I'll watch. Yeah, I gotta watch Stargirl because there's some JSA stuff in there. I don't know how badly they effed it up.
That's I think on Netflix over here in Canada. Yeah.
So. But no, Batwoman. I can't believe there's another season. That is so. So let me tell you, my wife can't. My wife can't watch it. She watched one. So we were doing a stream and it was on, and she watched one. She's like, "It is so awful." When my wife has checked out, then it's over. It's over, Johnny. Like. Yeah. That's done because like I'll still go for a bit, but if she's done, it's over. And I just couldn't do Batwoman season. I did season 1, the whole thing, baby. You can't take that away from me.
I did it as well. And I lasted 25 minutes of season 2.
I saw 2 episodes of season 2. Sean, you're not going to be able to do this, buddy. You think
I have to now?
No,
man.
you're.
I love
the 3 and 4, man. This is Nemesis 2.
Sean, this is good. This is like Nemesis. This is like Nemesis
4. Yeah, I never saw 5, so yeah.
Okay, we gotta do. Sean, I desperately want to do all 5 Nemesis movies together. And we could skip Nemesis Part 1.
I'll probably end up liking 2 and 3 because I've always hated those movies. Mm-hmm. For good Christ, it's not even a movie.
It's so bad. We have to do Nemesis 4. And then Nemesis 5 looks like it's a disaster, so it might be a great movie.
Yeah.
Nobody in chat knows what the hell we're talking about.
Nemesis 1 is the gold standard of low-budget action movies. It's so awesome.
It's so awesome,
freaking like movies
Thomas
copied it. Yeah.
Thomas Jane and Underworld copied that scene where they shot.
Yeah, Underworld copied that whole thing.
Underworld copied that whole thing.
We're shooting through the wall, the floor to get through. I love when those 2 guys in Nemesis like just make themselves a door, just shoot themselves a door.
Yeah, that was an Escape from New York trick, right? Where they remember the Escape from New York. Where he I'm trying to see if I can find the Nemesis movies over there. There's 5 sci-fi action movies called Nemesis. The first one is like a great, very low budget, post-apocalyptic, kind of Terminator, Mad Max-ish ripoff, but it's done very well.
State of the art, Alex.
State of the art, yeah. So that knee was brand new. But then Nemesis 2 is pretty bad. And I watched it and it's laughably bad, so you can enjoy it. Nemesis 3 is awful, but Nemesis 4 is a new Nemesis 4 is a new level of non-acting and non-story. It would be impossible for someone to make a movie like this where nothing happens. It's unbelievable. That's why when people say to me they hate this movie or they watch this shitty movie, I'm like,
no, you've never seen a shit movie. It's like, what hate this movie? It's like, and they eviscerate like produced Hollywood stuff. It's like, you know what? There's some bad movies, but they still have like a script and shit. This thing, it's like, I guess Albert Pugh really likes muscle women because like
loves Sue Price.
Yeah, because
I'm wearing my Pump and Iron shirt.
Yeah. She's topless for most of it, and she's walking. And there's this one scene where she interrogates a dude who's dying while like doing curls, and it's a good so 12 weird. Minutes or something. It's
okay.
Crazy.
Let me go. Let me get the Nemesis movies off the shelf. I'm getting up when I'm getting up. That's serious. That's when I know you're serious.
Sean, you have a story. Is it about Nemesis 3? Watching it on television?
Yeah, Nemesis 2 and 3. So we have here we have Space, not Sci-Fi. So in Canada we have a station called Space, and they would do double features on Saturdays. And they did Nemesis 2 and 3 as a double feature on Spacebar, and they cut back to these hosts, and they would like tell you about the movies and everything. And so I'm talking about Nemesis 2 and 3 on Spacebar.
Oh.
So
dear.
So, I watched Nemesis. I got my chips and dip when I'm watching Nemesis 2 because I love Nemesis, and it was terrible. Nothing happens. And so it ends on a non cliffhanger. It's bullshit. Then part 3 starts up. I'm like, it's starting off where part 2 ended. Part 3, nothing happens. It's just a bunch of chases. There's nothing going on. And so at the end, there's a commercial break, and they cut to these guys on this show called Spacebar. And one guy's like, and one guy with a mega serious face, he's like, listen, you saw Nemesis 2. It's good. It's okay. And you saw almost all of Nemesis 3, and you think you've seen everything. You haven't seen anything. It's like, wait till you see the ending of Nemesis 3, right? They go through the commercials, and it comes back. It's like, are you ready? Like, you thought you saw everything. You haven't seen anything till you see the ending of Nemesis 3. So then they go to Nemesis 3. Nothing happens. These characters kick away this stupid like Power Rangers like villain monster thing. And they kick it with like, just with their feet. Fly away on a little biplane thing into the sky, and that's it. And then they cut back, and the guy goes, "Yeah, I lied. I just wanted you to see the whole thing. That's all." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you guys!" That's just terrible, man.
I don't know why we're so against our Nemesis series. Okay, let's go through. Here we go. So I bought this on Blu-ray. This
is the only stream on Earth when we'll go through the Nemesis movies.
This will never happen on YouTube, and nobody owns all 5. I'm the only person on this planet who owns all 5 of these movies. You can check that on Google. Okay, Nemesis Part 1, and then this was the value pack. You get 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. Now here's the story about this. Oh no, do you have Part 4 single?
No, I upgraded to Blu-ray, Sean. I upgraded to Blu-ray.
So the story about Part 4 single is I had it in my hand, and I was like, Nemesis 4. J-Man grabbed it out of my hand and walked directly to the cashier and bought it.
Oh, I stole it from Sean.
That totally effing happened. I was like, it's a half a minute. What the hell happened?
Dude, listen. You know what? No,
this
you're
like
painting me out to be the bad guy, but hold on a second.
No, that happened.
Firstly, I know, but there's no rules when DVD hunting. This is the thing that Sean learned the hard way. Sean had to fucking be taught a lesson. You have to learn the hard way.
I didn't have a firm grip on it.
If you're going DVD shopping with me and there's a rare disc or something, it's mine. You have to be on top of your game here. Look, Nemesis. Now, but Sean, you came to my house when we watched it together. Though we trying to make
it could have been mine.
And I made up for that. And you know the movie I'm talking about. I made up for that with Conquest, buddy, at the show. Yeah. I called you. We separated. We split up at the show, and I found Conquest, and I called you. I said, Sean, there's Conquest here, and then we both got Conquest. So I made up for that because you wouldn't have seen that. That was in that weird where they have those tents or like those racks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like in this corner. I'm like, friggin' Conquest.
Yeah,
Not
but Conquest.
Conquest.
Now I'm gonna
That's
get
a great movie.
Yeah.
I am a jerk. Listen, there's rules. Do you know Fight Club? It's the same thing. It's like first rule of DVD collecting. Every man for himself, man. Like this ain't the Three Musketeers.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation is way better than Nemesis 3.
Oh yeah, did someone talk about? Oh, Nemesis. Oh, are you crazy? Mortal Kombat Annihilation is like
you don't know what bad movies are. It's like
yeah, you guys
they're
don't know what bad movies
are. They're painful to watch.
They're
if you're not, your brain knows what a narrative is. If it's not following something, then you're like, what the fuck is this? Like you're used to like a movie like actually steering you. Like I like Manos: The Hands of Fate. It's a story.
Oh, that's a great movie.
It's a story, and it has an iconic thing with the guy holds up his cape and it has the hands.
The hands,
that's cool. It's not a great movie, but it's I think it's okay. It's telling you a story. It's like some movies
it's kind of awful,
well,
to be honest.
Okay,
it's kind of awful.
But
it's awful in a way that makes sense as a movie. Like honestly, Nemesis 4. Did you tell him when we paused it, or where our friend thought it was paused and he came back? We were watching Nemesis 4, and there's a scene where like literally she's interrogating this guy. She's naked and interrogating this guy. And my buddy had to go use the bathroom, and he's like, "Don't pause it. He goes, just let it play. I'll come." Because we would pause and say, "Well, when you come back, we'll continue." He's like, "Just let it go." So he left, did his business for a while, came back. He's like, I told you guys not to pause it." I'm like, "We didn't. It's the same damn scene." That's
and he calculated in his head, because he's like good at math. He calculated that if it hit a certain point, it was a good like 15% of the movie or something like that. Right? He worked out the percentage of the film.
I swear, it's like 15 minutes and you're just talking, and you're like, I don't, and it's incomprehensible. I'm like, I literally do not understand what is happening right now. I swear to God. Oh my God, we have to watch it.
I didn't even see the movie and I love it.
Oh my God.
How would you compare it to The Room then? Would that be more comparable?
No, The Room is very enjoyable because it's very silly and it's just outrageously awful.
Yeah.
But Nemesis, nothing is happening. Like, it's not funny bad. It's just like, you're like, I don't under. It's like, tell us where it is. I'll never tell you. You'll be dead soon. And you're like, well, no, he won't be dead soon because he talks for 15 minutes. And just go back and forth, and I'm like, but like, literally, we're like, wait, what is happening? Like, what is this scene? Like, there's people who are like, oh, this was a bad scene, but you're never questioning what is this scene about.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, there's people talking. You're like, I don't get, like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Like, is this part of the plot? Is this like a character development moment? Like, you just can't tell what's going on. I love Nemesis. I'm so happy. Well, I have an extra Nemesis 4 now. Didn't I give you that? Did I give you that, Sean?
No, you didn't.
Do you actually have Nemesis 4?
I don't have it. No.
I'll see if I can dig it up out of my, because I kept a thing of doubles.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find Nemesis 4 and return it to you after all. It's 20 years later. I snatched it from you, and now it's
you 20 years later.
I did give Sean the entire Fast and Furious collection on Blu-ray, so I think that's better than Nemesis 4. Oh my God. Steven is the life of the party. Well, you gotta come over and watch us watch these movies. Did you hear Paddington 2 surpassed Kane?
I don't know what that means.
What's Kane?
Citizen Kane?
From
Citizen Kane?
You guys need to do drugs while watching. I don't do drugs. I'm a nerd. I'm a square.
On drugs.
Yeah, I asked my mom or asked my dad. Remember drugs.
Drugs.
Which are good.
Some are good. Some are bad. Drugs. Ask your mom. I would also accept rugs, but whatever.
So we haven't talked yet. This is
the first time I ever heard anyone refer to Manos: The Hands of Fate as anything but.
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's a badly made movie, but like, compared to some other movies, there's a story in it. So,
oh my God,
I've always thought they should remake that, but you want to preserve that movie as being a bad film, right?
So wait, which Nemesis is that? Is that this one? No, this is a great movie. This has
There-
Thomas Jane in it. Thomas
Yeah.
Jane's one of the
I
villains.
think there's a collection. Let me look it up.
Look it
There
up.
might be a collection.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask guys too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did everyone see the Venom Let There Be Carnage second trailer?
No.
Yeah, and I
was it-
immediately forgot it. because
no.
it
So
just-
how is it brutal? I don't know,
It's-
man.
it's
I'm not
okay. It's
feeling this
there.
one. I'm not
You
feeling
know-
this movie.
No, me
You
neither.
know what? Something happened in that trailer, and I'm like, good God, not again. There's a scene, and there's a scene where Eddie's arguing with the symbiote, and it's like you're a loser, and it headbutts him. I'm like, why is the symbiote headbutting Eddie Brock?
So wait, you're talking about like
So
like
it
Venom comes out
his
of
chest
and then headbutts
and
himself.
talking to him.
It's just like so silliness. It's like too bad. The human figure that would punch himself.
Yeah.
That was his action move. He'd punch himself.
Yeah.
Terrified of Nemesis. Oh, you have to definitely watch Nemesis. Oh no, Nemesis 1 is great. Nemesis 1 is great.
Part
Nemesis,
1 is really great as a low
Tim
budget action picture.
Thomerson-
It's awesome.
Tim
Thomas Jane,
Thomerson's
yeah.
Thomas Jane, but Tim Thomerson's in that one too. Dollman from
But every movie after that, stay away. Just stay
So-
away.
yeah, Carnage or no, what is it? Let There Be Carnage.
Let There Be Carnage. Like it seems
I
that
don't
like
know.
and how he gets the symbiote, you know how he gets this, that shows how Carnage gets the symbiote. Like
I
Cletus
thought they could
Cassidy.
only pick certain people or something. Wasn't that the weird rule they came up with? They messed up that.
No, what
stuff.
happened was I remember in the comics it was like Venom escapes, but there's a bit of him on the in the big gaping hole he made, and then it just goes on a Cassidy, and that's it.
No, but
that's
no.
it.
I mean, in the movie, the symbiotes.
It looks like he
could
bites
not
him
attack-
and licks some of his blood or something, and then or something like that.
Yeah,
Is that what
something like
happened,
that.
Steve? Yeah, I don't know.
No. Hold on. In the movie, not every symbiote can connect to people. They kept trying. Remember, people kept dying.
Yeah.
So how does this thing?
Yeah, but did they ever explain why that would be?
Because it's shit writing. I don't know. They didn't.
Yeah, the thing is, like it connects with Buddy, and it connects with the bad guy. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
So it can connect to like, what's his name, Cassidy?
Yeah,
Cassidy is the guy who's Carnage. Like the
so
human
I
guy.
can't. I don't know.
I mean,
Oh wait.
got
Okay, so Steve. So Steve. So okay. What do you know the answer to this or no? Like what we're like. Carnage is the name of the symbiote. That's what they said.
Yes.
Like they said, Venom
Yes.
in the movie. We read the comics. We know that. Forget that. Movie. In movie, it says the symbiote. That's the name. Like
Name of the
Venom
symbiote.
is
His
the
name
name
is Venom,
of the goop or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they put it with people, and it not the Venom one, but the other. What was the other guy's name? Now I forgot.
can't
Shit.
remember his name.
The
Riot.
white one. Riot. So Riot goes to the Indian guy. Yes, that fellow. So they go to that. It goes to that guy, but they tested it on people and it didn't work, and they're like, it only works sometimes. So the symbiote's plan is to invade a planet where they can't be sure to take everyone's body because it doesn't work. So that was stupid.
But was that their plan to invade?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember that.
Steve, do you remember or no?
Yeah, J-Man's right, because he was sending a rocket to get the symbiotes, and they fought where he was going to fire the rocket from, like his laboratory. Like, it was weird. At some point, I'm just like, because I didn't understand almost anything, and then at the end, it was just two piles of goop fighting each other, and I was like, okay. But it was that where he was trying to get the symbiotes to Earth to invade. I don't know why.
Yeah. In this one, in the trailer, I remember Venom is scared of the red one. He's like, a red one, and he goes right back into he does Hulk, right? From from Infinity War. And then Brock is like, get out of here, come on. And then he comes back and fights like Carnage. But he's like scared or something.
There you go. You've officially scared.
I scared him, man.
Sean and I have very weird tastes. You haven't like Steve's in there, but like Sean and I really watched a lot of weird movies.
Mm.
I also listen. Manos is a bad movie, yes, but I appreciate effort as well too. I mean,
Look,
you
let's
know,
face it, Manos is
Bird
10 out
Birdemic
of
could
10.
kiss my ass because it's like it's rich guys making a bad movie. That's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
I love Manos. I bought it when I went to go buy it. Literally, they're like, I went in there. I'm like, "Do you guys have Manos?" And the guy behind the counter said, "The hands of fate."
Yeah,
And he
and
said
you
it
told me
like
that
that.
story, yeah.
And I was like, "Buddy, we're in. That's what I'm looking for, dude." That store was called Starstruck Entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's all nerds like me working there. And there's goth guys there too and all that. And
Yeah.
it's like, a guy walks in. It's like, "I'm looking for Manos." "We got it, buddy." And they knew what you're talking about. And people would come in and they'd ask for like Rudy Poo movies. Like, "Do you have Titanic?" It's like, "Yeah, we have it." It's like over there. But then they had the section for the weirdo section where you buy like I bought Rock and Roll Nightmare from that place. I love Rock and Roll Nightmare.
We
I
got
met Thor.
signed by the man himself.
John Michael Thor, baby.
Yeah.
Met John
Yeah.
Michael Thor. That's where I got Rock and Roll Nightmare. What else did I get there? Well, I pre-ordered Return of Swamp Thing and there was no disc in there, but that was really weird. But no, I got what else? Any of the weird movies, that's where
Yeah.
I'd go to. And
I love Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
Oh yes, yeah, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
Vampire
That
Hunter
is
is
right
awesome.
there on the
Yeah.
shelf. I can't
Yeah.
get up and get everything. You're gonna have to believe me. Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. This is where so Jesus Christ, Mary Magdalene, who's like a prostitute, like a biker chick, and El Santos team
Yes.
up to fight vampires.
Yeah.
Like, this is 10 out of 10. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't get more 10 out of 10.
And once again, it's a low budget movie,
Right.
but I like that they strung this movie together, and it's pretty cool.
It's cool. And Sean got Meat Market. There's one of my
Meat
favorites.
Market's
I
awesome.
always throw
Yeah.
that in there. Meat Market was great. That's a great little zombie flick. We got
But
some good
those
stuff.
two Canadian movies, I don't know if Americans would know what those are.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
you guys might not know
Yeah.
about some of those. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that
Carnage.
Lincoln one was good too. The
Which one?
it was okay. The Lincoln was it Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Was that what it was called? There's a big
Abraham
train
Lincoln Vampire
ending
Oh,
Hunter.
in
Abraham
one,
Lincoln. Yeah, Abraham
Yeah.
Lincoln. Yeah, Vampire. Oh, I liked that. I bought that
Yeah.
movie. I think
Yeah.
that was really fun. That's when they were
Yeah.
doing that whole.
I like quote unquote good movies too, but like I do gravitate towards that kind of thing. That's why I'm like, if I'm telling you that some of these movies coming out today are bad, they're bad.
They're bad.
Even. I can tell you in words why. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We don't just hate on it to hate on it. We'll tell you why. Man, my son's still there.
That's
Rip
cool.
Tracks
Live
is
event.
good.
Yeah.
But like Sean and I watch these movies pure. Like when Santa Conquers the Martians or whatever. Like I know there's the Elvira version. Look, I watched the Elvira versions of a lot of these because some of them are pretty awful. I just watched Castle of Freaks, or what was that one?
Castle Freak. Is it just Castle Freak?
No, Castle Freak is actually a good movie. This one's Castle of Horrors or something.
Okay. Yeah. I know. I don't know.
It's basically Frankenstein and hey, Truth, what's going on, dude? It's awful, but I'm watching, and my wife literally will turn her chair away from the TV. And I'm serious. And so she's reading the current Star Trek comics, the year 5. It's ending in a couple of months. So she'll literally turn the chair away from the TV and read that. I'm like, what, you can't appreciate Elvira making fun of these awful movies or whatever? So I actually bought those Elvira collections, but I like watching the raw, like no mystery, whatever, that Mystery Theater or whatever. Rift.
Yeah, I know. I like, and sometimes they release them both on the same.
They do
disc.
release them both on the same.
It's the same thing with Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Mystery
Sometimes
Science,
they'll have the
yeah.
actual movie in there.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
I
mean,
appreciate
not
that
good
a lot.
movies, but
yeah, I appreciate a lot. So True, thanks for popping in, dude. I'm waiting for the day J-Man Shell falls apart. But no, so I'm switching to the guy. I'm switching to the master bedroom. The master bedroom is now going to be my collectibles.
the J-Man Cave.
The J-Man Cave. I used to do that. Yeah, J-Man Cave. So that's going to be the new man cave, and then the guest room is now going to be the bedroom, which is how this is how awful it is. And then one of my coworkers asked me, it's like, what does your wife think about this? I'm like, it was her idea, because she's just like, this is just too crazy. Like, let's just go to the big room. But she's got, the thing is, she's a collector too. She just redid her shelves. She collects manga, and classic Star Trek. So we got Kirk's autograph, and we got a Deep Space Nine thingy, and we've got Quark's her favorite. So we got the Quark and Kirk are her two favorite characters. Could not be more different actually from each other if you think about that. Really, those are her two favorite Star Trek characters. She'll throw Spock in at number 3 because I have to keep poking her. So you got to get Spock in there. But yeah, so she's got her collection, which is like manga and mostly like the Japanese, like some anime and that kind of a thing, and classic Star Trek and Agatha Christie. She loves Agatha Christie stuff, and PG Woodhouse.
Yeah,
she has every PG Woodhouse that's a Jeeves book. I don't know if anybody out there knows what I'm talking about, but those are books nobody reads anymore. I know. Santa Claus Conquers Martians. Oh, I love Santa Claus Conquers Martians. Master Bedroom, yeah. No, she's with it. That was her idea. Captain Quark from Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
No. Captain Quark from Deep Space Nine. So yeah, so Carnage, I am like, we're gonna go see it just for the shit. Are we gonna go to the theater for anything anymore, guys? Let me know, because I mean, Suicide Squad we can skip because that's out anyway. So whatever. What's the next thing that you would want to go to the theater to see?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, we'll see. Okay, so we'll see that then.
But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, restrictions fluctuate here. I have no clue what's happening. So
yeah, I'm guessing the next thing that we would normally see is Shang-Chi, because that's out September 3rd. But I don't even know if we're going to go see that.
I don't know. We kind of utterly destroyed that movie without meaning to destroy that movie. I almost didn't mean. Yeah. I kind of felt like, I know last stream we kind of like just bludgeoned the crap out of that movie, and I didn't mean to destroy it. But the problem is, it's everything man. Like, you know, I know Fu Manchu's taboo now and all that, but like, you know, we got to stop looking at modern. We got to take off the modern glasses and look at stuff that's come out in the time that it came out in. This is why I can enjoy a lot more things than the average person. Like, I love black and white films. And we all love silent films, right?
Yeah.
It's like I bought that the Trip to the Moon, right? You know, I got the Criterion of that, which gives you 4 or 5 different versions, different orchestra tracks. I got that on Criterion, for Christ's sakes. That's an expensive disc.
Oh God.
I enjoy stuff like this, and it's like I'm not going to look at it and like, I mean, I get it.
I know it's like everyone gets so offended, and it's kind of a narcissism in that, like, you gotta leave your own personal feelings out the door. Like, sometimes I would get offended. There are very rare instances of that, but for the most part, like, I'm reading Shang-Chi now, like the old 70s comics. Yeah. And the bad guys all use Chinese derogatory terms, every single one you could think of, right?
Yep.
And like yellow this and slant that, and it's like. And am I horribly offended? No, they're the bad guys, and I understand what this comic is and when it was written, right? So I get it. It's like, are those terms are they accepted? No, like I'm not stupid. I understand the context of this, that they're the bad guys and Shang-Chi will kick their ass. I get it. I don't know why. It's like when I read the Ian Fleming James Bonds, like, those are mega racist and super misogynist, but I understand who's writing them. I understand the context. I get it. It's like, I'm not going to be like, well, you know what? I shan't not read the rest of this.
I know.
And then like drop it like, you must bubble wrap the world for me. It's like, I get it. I understand where it came from. I'm not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
P.S. I literally love all the James Bond books, even The Spy Who Loved Me, where James Bond doesn't show up till the end. I like that one, anyways.
P.S.
I had the Nemesis VHS. I might
have it too. Yeah,
I might have the Nemesis.
I bought it for $5 a few years ago at one of these toy shows. But
I pulled a naughty trick on Nemesis. I'll have to tell. This was breaking. This was a bit of a law breaking. I didn't steal it, but I kind of made it for sale when it wasn't for sale.
No,
it's like they were selling old tapes and it wasn't on sale, so I peeled a sticker. I peeled a sticker off. And put it on the Nemesis and bought it.
Oh.
Like it wasn't for sale, but I made it for sale. Well, I actually didn't peel the sticker off. Now that it's coming back to me, no, it was a friend of mine who peeled it off. And then he put it on, and then I just bought it because I was like, "Ooh, I don't know." I was too chicken to pull the so that's really awful. I was like, that's really terrible. I couldn't even go through with the full thing. I got my buddy the full crime. But trust me, I paid $15 for a VHS copy of Nemesis. That guy got a great deal because nobody was renting that movie except for me. I rented it like 5 times, so I really paid like $40
You
for it
actually
or something.
did buy it.
I did buy it.
So if we skip Shang-Chi, the next one we would be in line to see is No Time to Die, which would be October 8th.
I'll see that because I saw every other Daniel Craig.
When is that?
October 8th.
October 8th. Okay.
So let's see how it goes.
If theaters are still open, I'll be honest.
Were you saying Nowhere to Run?
I was, but it's No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
That would be my
work.
song. Screw this on whatever song they have in that movie, man.
I don't know if they'll have the ability to close things down again because it's just what are we waiting for now? You know what I mean? Like, we're not waiting for the vaccine, so what are we waiting for now?
Yeah, maybe what now then? Yeah.
So
well, now they're saying if you got one of them, you have to get another shot. Like I might have to go a third time now.
Like, it's like I'm double AZ, so it's like, well, you gotta get another. It's like, really, do I? And other doctors are like, well, if you do that, fuck things up. It's like, I don't know. Then you're gonna go back, confirm with each other, and come back to me when you're ready.
Yeah, this is where a lot of these conspiracy theories are coming from. They're coming from the fact
that they're changing their mind
every time.
I understand, but like still,
No, but if you're one of these conspiracy nuts, and I'm just sitting here thinking, well, I don't know, they are changing their mind an awful lot. Like, I'm not one of these people, but I'm starting to it's like, this is getting a little bit weird now, right? Like, it's like, and I know people who are like, look, I'm not doing jack shit, nothing until this is around for a couple of more years, in case you grow a tail or something. Like, we're not going to get superpowers, I'm sure. But it could be like Scanners. Remember the movie Scanners where ephemeral was given to everybody and we all became scanners? So if I become a scanner, watch out. I'm going crazy. I'm gonna it's gonna be Dark Phoenix Saga or whatever. Like,
you're gonna make Daryl Reebok look like frigging Jesus Christ.
Oh, I love Ravik. He's like one of my favorites. And Michael Ironside's the greatest human being ever.
Yeah.
So there's that to consider.
My God, he was
Nemesis. Oh, I will never sell Nemesis. I will be buried. I will be cremated with Nemesis. I'm putting that in my will. Cremate me with the Nemesis VHS.
I think mine is still like plastic wrapped. So
Oh, nice.
It's still sealed. I've got 2 Ewok double feature, like the DVD that I have those on VHS. So
Battle for Endor and whatnot.
Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage. Hey, I'll take those over the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
At least they didn't treat Luke Skywalker like a piece of trash.
I've been watching Droids on Disney Plus. It's freaking awesome, man.
It's awesome. What are you talking about?
Good God, man. It's awesome. I've seen it so many times, but like I haven't seen it this clear before. I know I've said that before. It almost forgives things for Disney for me. Almost. Like seeing it like Ewoks, Droids, and the cartoon from the holiday special this clear. No one's ever seen them this clear before. So that's awesome to me.
No, it's like they are crazy, like on Disney. But that's what sold me to finally turn to the dark side. I saw a couple of Bad Batch on there, and I'm like this is beyond clear. This is like it's in the
listen. I'm caught up on Bad Batch. It's fucking awesome. Every Star Wars fan should shut the fuck up. Because here's the thing, man. Star Wars fans are always like, we'll do something different. It's not just a Skywalker saga. Do something different. So they do something different. No one watches it. It's the same thing that happened to the Clone Wars show. It's like all these old school fans like, well, it's prequel, so like, and then they're like, you should do something different, expand the universe. And they did that. They did that with almost every episode of Clone Wars. And then for Bad Batch, people are like, well, I don't want to really see the Skywalker saga. Are you watching Bad Batch? No. Well, then what the fuck are you talking? You don't know what the fuck you want. That's the problem. So listen, Bad Batch is awesome. Wicked action storylines. It has the feeling of Star Wars, all the sound effects and action and pulp adventure that you want. It's all there. It's awesome. So everyone, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
V8, okay.
I mean,
well,
I mean-
just because I'm so excited about the possibility of the director of Ninja 3: The Domination doing a live stream on Action Elite. So I had to get a thing. I should have, here. I'll play. Here, let me give you a better one.
Anyway.
There you go.
I mean, Sean is very passionate about the Bad Batch, obviously.
Wow.
Listen,
Okay, so I've seen the
it's
first like
cool.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think the thing is that for me, I'm okay with compartmentalizing Star Wars. As long as an original character is not being ruined,
Yeah.
I can watch it and be like, that was okay, and then move on with my day.
Yeah.
The sequel trilogy ruined too many of the original characters and messed up the plot. So even if they introduced characters which potentially could have been good, it just didn't go to anything, right? So that's the problem. You ruined Luke. Well, I mean, I'm
I don't know why everyone
like,
keeps like moving away from Luke. It's like Luke is Star Wars, not Han Solo.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. You know, it's like, well, Star Wars isn't really Luke Skywalker to me. Well, then Star Wars isn't Star Wars to you because I don't understand. It's like it's his story. Good God.
His story.
Yeah.
And the thing is that like, and also it's like let's not forget that Han got ruined as well in the first one. But again, the biggest sin, Sean has pointed this out, Steve has pointed this out. The biggest sin was you had the 3 actors, right? And Chewbacca as well, but like the 3, because anyone could be in Chewbacca's costume, right? But the 3 faces, the 3 faces, they were never together. Like, what the hell? We waited all this time, and then it's like, Chewie, we're home. It's like, where's all 3 of them together to fight? I don't understand. I like, it's just, how could you mess it up so badly? This is why, like, Doctor Who is in shambles, right? Like, Star Trek is just horse. It's not even Star Trek. Star Wars could have easily avoided all of this. You have the 3 of them together, and they go on a mission or something. And then even if you killed Han Solo, we'd still say this sucks. And if Luke Skywalker exiled himself at the end, we would still say it sucks. But everyone is so deeply hurt and offended because you didn't have the original people together to do a mission and be the characters. I don't get it. Like, Doctor Who's fallen off a cliff because one man came in and thought he was better than the series and wanted to rewrite things. Yeah. And then Star Trek got ruined because JJ's like, I'm doing a new thing. I'm doing my JJ garbage directing. But Star Wars never had to go that way. It's just so... I don't know. I'm speechless on
it.
Well,
they've always forgotten where it came from. It's like the pulp adventure is gone, and they don't even know what that is. So,
but it was replaced with nothing. It was replaced with utter nonsense.
Replaced with nothing.
The problem really is that, like, if we tear apart, if we sort of remove the characters and we just leave the story and insert whatever character you want,
right?
Make up a new character and say this is what this character does. If you follow it from point A to point Z, it makes no sense. Nothing makes sense in these movies. That's the problem. Finn's arc makes no sense. Like, he's a stormtrooper who figured out he's a stormtrooper and he got away from the First Order's programming.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
To do what?
Even that pisses me off, but yeah.
To do what? What did he do?
He did
nothing. He did nothing.
Right. What was the arc of that character?
Rose to that other place and saved the animals.
Oh my god!
Oh god! Yeah.
Oh
like
my god.
What does Poe do?
What interests
Poe does
me?
Nothing. He gets yelled at by Laura Dern in Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And then he does nothing. Like, they reprogrammed C-3PO. Why?
What interests me about like Last Jedi, well, one of the things is that, like, it's a bad movie, but like, they really sold the shit out of those porgs, but the story was about the Fathiers, which Lego, maybe Lego made something. I didn't see it. Hasbro didn't do anything. I didn't see any stuffed Fathiers. I saw all stuffed porgs, and the porgs didn't do anything. And it's like the Fathiers, like, figure into the story more, and there's barely anything made on them. It's like the merchandisers were like, we're not touching that. This is stupid. It's like, if you're not going to take this seriously, we're not going to take this seriously.
Well, actually, and I don't know who, it's one of the toy channels or something on YouTube. I don't remember who it was, but they're talking about that, saying that the guy, like Diamond Distributors, were saying like, yo, we got no interest. Like nobody wants to grab any of these like statuettes or figurines or like there's always different, like if you're a fan of Star Wars, there's always a vast variety of collectible things you can get. Like if you're super duper poor and you can't get stuff, you can buy Funko Pops for like $10. If you want to get, if you're in that sort of like our situation, you can get the $10 or $15 action figures, the 5 points, 375. You can get those, and then there's the black series of the more posable versions of the small ones, the 375 super posable ones, and then there's the 6, I guess 5-inch or whatever they are. The bigger black series ones, which are the more like Marvel Legends looking kind of ones, those are in the $30 range. And then there's those guys, I've seen guys, man, who like have like, you think like I've got like this Wonder Woman statue is a $350 one, but I've seen guys with like Star Wars like that, like a big Darth Maul or something or whatever. Then there's those guys. Then there's the guys who want like Steve, you got the lightsabers. So did you get the green or blue?
I got the blue and the purple.
You got the blue and the purple. So right, and then I've got the red. You gifted me the red, I think. So I've got the red here. Then there's guys that buy the helmet. So whatever collector you are of Star Wars, you can get something. There was nothing for this movie. Going to Toys R Us, and it's still open in Canada here. Going to Toys R Us. I go to Toys R Us now. I kid you not. I can buy Rogue One figures.
Yeah.
My God, Rogue One. I can still buy those.
Yeah.
You know what I can't buy? Any Marvel Legends. No goddamn Power Rangers, where I missed 1 week of not going. Well, I think they opened in April or whatever, and I didn't go in April, and Power Rangers is gone. Now I've got to wait for the second wave of these to come out. So I was able to get Pink Ranger, and I ordered the Morpher. It's like Power Rangers continuously sells out. Marvel Legends continuously sells out. That even like the wrestling figures, anytime there's a new thing of wrestling figures, like Greg the Hammer Valentine sold out, right? I was looking for Greg because I watched all of his videos. It's like these are all gone. Star Wars, you can buy Rogue One. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. When I was at my local one today, or not today, this past week, because I was looking for
Power Rangers. For me.
I wandered by the Star Wars figures. There was a few Han best bit, not best.
Yep.
Is it best best? Right.
I mean Hoth. I've seen the Hoth ones.
The Hoth ones. So I saw the Hoth ones with both Han and Luke, and I'm guessing people didn't get that. People either want Star Wars one with the sand covered clothing or the black outfit. One or the other.
It depends. Those are a commemorative line.
Right.
So it's the same toy.
Right.
Like what you saw, Steve, I already own those from before. They just re-released them. So if you still see those, like I already have the sand, the like Tusken Raider or whatever sand person. Because they released that before. They just re-released these. So that's not to say that nobody wants the Han and
right. But
they already have them.
But even so, like I could see people being like, "Oh, there's the Hoth ones. Well, I want the Tatooine Luke, or I want the black suit Luke, right? Like the black." But like, there was Donnie Yen's character from Rogue One. There was some other character from Rogue One who I didn't recognize. And
I've got a story about Rogue One toys. It's like a So here in Canada, we have Dollarama.
Wait, hold on. Were you done, Steve? Because I didn't...
sorry. Yeah,
that's okay. And there was a ton of Rays. A ton of Rays.
Oh, Ray, yeah.
Like I could have had Rays every day. I could have had a Ray for every day of the week, and I'm like, okay, not a surprise, but okay.
All right, Sean. Toy Story Rogue One edition.
Yeah, like Dollarama here. So Dollarama is a chain of dollar stores here in Ontario. I don't know if it's across Canada or anything, but that's where toys go to die. So when there's overstock in other stores, I guess what they do is they sell like their overstock of stuff. It's like, here, we got a bunch of shit here. to the Dollarama people, and then it starts disseminating throughout the Dollaramas. And I always, every week, I check Dollarama to, their books, because sometimes they have the Cinestory books, like the big comics, the movies, and I check their toy aisle to see what figures are there to die. And all of my Rogue One, I have a ton of Rogue One figures. All my Rogue One figures and all of my sequel trilogy figures are from Dollarama. I have Rey. I have a ton of Reys. I have every character from Rogue One. I have the big ones. So all of those. And I have two what's the guy's name? Kylo Ren's. The big deluxe one that came with the starter pack of that thing that makes the sound. I can't remember what it's called. Intertech or whatever it's called.
Oh, I have that too.
Yeah. And they're all $3. They started out being $2, and then they rose them to $3. And towards the end, they were like about $4. Star Wars stuff. Hasbro, good stuff. Hasbro Star Wars stuff at Dollarama.
Wow.
And that's because they couldn't sell them in Walmart, in Toys R Us, etc. So they sold all their overstock that they couldn't sell to Dollarama for a bulk price. Dollarama then sold them for about $2-3 a piece. That's how you know something's died. Like they have a ton of Dr. Savannahs from from Shazam. It's like if toys die, you know about it if it's at the dollar chains. You know.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine how low that's like sunk? But like, I mean, so they're doing the Suicide Squad 2 Part 2 figures. And again, like I don't know, like, is that going to go anywhere? Like, where are those? I'm tired of this chasing around toys and them being super expensive. Like, I just had like this Pink Ranger. It was literally like, I think 15, and she's like good.
Yeah.
And she comes with one accessory and the one key, and she can pose and she can do the splits and kick and whatever. It's like, and this feels like a good quality toy.
Yeah.
Why are these toys, these Star Wars toys are outrageously priced?
I know. Well, any Hasbro thing.
Hasbro thing.
Except for those, that's Hasbro.
This is Hasbro.
Yeah.
This is Hasbro. The Morpher's $25, and it spins and it makes sounds, and every key you put in does a different song and all that. And I've got the Morpher from Beast Morphers as well.
Yeah.
It's like, why is that? It's like, it's almost better buying these for the kids. Did you guys watch, or Sean watched it? Did you watch Mike's Retro Blasting's the dollar? I don't know what it's called in the States.
Final Faction or something like that.
Yes. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. That's looking not too bad.
Yeah.
And I think he was saying that, like, I mean, that toy is still manufactured, so there's some cost to that.
It's tooling and everything.
And there's tooling and all that, and they're still only charging you $1 or $2 or whatever it happens to be. I don't know what it
Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
Right. And the interesting thing for me on that video was more when he started giving me the numbers. He's like, well, someone's manufacturing this and it's $2.
Yeah.
So, well, how is that? And the card back doesn't look like garbage. It looks okay. And these Power Rangers, I didn't show them packaged. It's not a garbage package. Like, the packaging is good. And there's the pictures, Pink Ranger, like with her weapon or whatever. You get a weapon. She's posable. This looks exactly like the show. What the hell?
There's a definite weaselness to, especially Hasbro, but like toy companies in general. Because, like, okay, J-Man, you go to Toys R Us.
Yeah, all the time.
Have you seen the True Heroes big ass military vehicles that come with like 4 or 5 guys and like 1 million accessories?
Yeah.
So those are the cheapo so-called knockoff G.I. Joe toys that Toys R Us commissioned because they didn't have military toys. Hasbro shat the bed on G.I. Joe for years. They made their own ones. And I've been there in Christmas time and stuff when parents are picking them up. Kids turn the corner and see them on the wall caps.
They're like this big.
They're huge, and they're dying. Like, oh my god, it's awesome! So like, it appeals to kids. You get a lot of stuff. They're about $60 for a big vehicle that comes with a small vehicle, maybe 2 small vehicles, minimum 3 characters, sometimes 4 or 5, and accessories on accessories. And the big vehicles has about 3 buttons that do sounds. Like one does a missile drop,
Yeah,
one does
whatever it is.
like a siren. So there's a bunch of flair to them too, and they're able to put all of this out, like a big place out with a bunch of other stuff, for about $60 or so Canadian. Canadian money is more expensive, right? So Canadian stuff is more expensive. So I've always seen that, and they've done years and years of this. I've always seen that, and I'm like, if Hasbro did this exactly, it would be about 100, 150. No, and that's no joke. It's not hyperbole. They would. And the thing is, why is that? Like those same guys like them and Leonard who do so-called knockoffs as well. I can't remember if it was Leonard or that Toys R Us brand did these medieval knight things that I regret not picking them up. It was like dragons, and there was one tree monster that you can move the jaw. It was like a clamp, right? And that thing was like $40, and it came with a couple guys you can eat, and some other stuff, some like accessories, like weapons and stuff. And it's nothing. And it's like, how are they able to make these great fun toys where you get a lot of cool stuff, and it's like it's cheap. It's cheap. It's not. It's because it's not branded. It's not like Transformers or something. And they're not out to rip your wallet. They're there to sell you stuff and move product. And for whatever reason, Hasbro just gets greedy. Like all the Marvel stuff, they know that Marvel's the king. So, and I've seen this with parents agonizing over like a figure to get, one figure to get. I used to get multiple figures for Christmas.
Well,
I don't think kids can get that anymore. It's like, because one figure costs something like 3-4 figures. It's like $40. $50. You remember I told you about that 3-pack with like Iron Man and 2 other guys. It was like $150, and I agonized over like, is it made of metal? What is this? And it wasn't. It was just, it's Marvel. So they shiv you.
So this guy,
he
was $10. So the reason is that he can't do the splits.
Yeah.
So he's just a 5. Well, actually, no. Sorry, no. He's got the knees and the things. So he's a simpler guy. He doesn't have all the colors or whatever.
Yeah.
So this guy's $10, and he's a solid guy.
Yeah.
Right. And he comes with a key as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand. I don't understand where they're getting this pricing from. Oh, Brendan, how's it going, dude? After you guys through.
Yeah, I'm dreading the Ghostbusters prices because I'm getting them. I'm getting.
You're gonna get all of it. So,
I'm getting them, man.
So I mean, well, that's the thing. Like some of this stuff is outrageously priced.
To be fair, the 2016 characters were like $2. I remember them in Walmart bins and stuff. Anyway,
I mean, $125 back in the day. What would it cost $125? Like even the hydrofoil for G.I. Joe, or like
I had that. No, I didn't have that. I had sorry.
I don't think that would have cost $125. And that thing was a friggin' vehicle. Like,
what was Castle Grayskull? Would anybody remember?
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. I recently saw that Iconicon thing where they went through the prices and adjusted for inflation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look that up, man.
Look that up. Steve, would you remember, because I know you bought a lot of the LJN wrestling, the rubber guys, right?
Tons of them.
What was the would you even have any memory of what those were costing? Or
so they would cost around $20 a figure, I believe. And then I think the ring was $30, and the steel cage was another, I think that was the same as a figure, because it was the blue steel cage.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that. Yeah, you put it over top.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure He-Man's like, and the brand is He-Man, despite what Mr. Smith wants you to say. The brand of He-Man, He-Man was, I think they're about $5, and I remember Joe's being around $5 as well, or something like that. Superpowers were around the same, because basically I was able to get like G.I. Joe, Superpowers, He-Man, were the 3 go-tos, because I could get those anytime my grandparents almost sort of raised me. Anytime I would go with them, we'd go out all the time, every weekend, both days, and I would get a figure every time I went out. And it'd be one of those. I could not get Transformers. Transformers had to be you gotta wait. I think I did get what's the Insecticon, Sean, with the pinchers? I forgot his name.
Bombshell, I think.
Bombshell.
Maybe I've got the new version of him over there, but it's
Bombshell might be the one with just the thing, but yeah.
Yeah, the other guy then.
He had just a proboscis.
Shrapnel could be shrapnel.
Shrapnel. It's shrapnel. So I was able to get shrapnel. You know, so he was a lower price point guy.
Yeah.
I was never able to get Optimus or Starscream or any of those other guys.
I got
Sean,
Omega Supreme.
You had Omega Supreme? Oh wow.
Yeah.
But again, was that would not have been something that you would have just said, oh, let's just buy this today just for the shit of it, right?
No, I got it for Christmas. And then my father
gift.
and my godfather spent a couple hours on Christmas Day trying to assemble Omega Supreme. Couldn't figure it out. So then my mom went and did it for me. She's also the one who put together my full-size Voltron. I had a full-size, like, he was like...
The metal one?
Yeah, he was. It was metal.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's hard to get, man. That's like mega expensive. I'd love to get vehicle Voltron, like Die Rugger 15 or whatever. I'd love to get Die Rugger. They had that Soul of Chogokin one. I just watch Retro Blasting does Voltron stuff. Whenever he does Voltron stuff, I just watch that video like 10 times, and that's sort of my. I lived through that video. Like, I want to see Voltron. I watch one of those.
So I sent you a link. In 1985, Castle Grayskull was $29.99.
Wow.
So today it would be $60. Right, Snake Mountain was $44.99. That's like more expensive in the 80s, right?
Wow.
It would be $89.99 today.
So Eternia
today,
was $100.
Grayskull would be $100. Like, I don't care what make or model it would be. They would ask $100 for you. Well, how much is the new Grayskull that just came out for the Classics line?
I have not been able to find it anywhere.
$130 or something. Yeah.
I just got Land Shark though.
Yeah, it's around. I haven't bought any of that stuff. I should, but like I don't know. I see it and I'm like, here it is, and I'm like, you know what? I could buy other things.
I can't. I tried my best.
Yeah.
I picked it up and put it down, and then I quickly ran and grabbed it. Like, what am I, stupid? What am I putting this down for? And then I started to think, I'm like, why am I working? You know, to just to pay, you know, working to pay the rent here. I'm like, I'm buying Land Shark. Yeah, so I'm looking at this right now. Yeah, so like the figures were about $5.
Yeah.
So they would be about $10. So in Canada, they'd be more like 17. Those stupid Marvel Legends are now up to $33.
Yeah,
30, no, they're 33 now. They're
33.
Oh yeah.
You know, I saw the Shang-Chi toys out.
Yeah.
And I went, I cannot actually distinguish one character from the other. Just looking at the characters, I was like, I actually don't know.
That's why we beat that movie up last stream. It's like
it's scary. It's literally like scary. Like, I saw the toys and I'm like, is that Shang-Chi? Is that Shang-Chi? Is that Shang-Chi?
Well, it says Shang-Chi on the thing.
Well, I didn't get close enough to like read it, but I'm like, here's the problem. Like, and this is something J-Man says, it's a visual thing. Like, I should be able to walk in and be like, that's Iron Man.
I can tell it's Shang-Chi because, and the thing is, but that's the thing. Not everyone knows this. In the comics, his thing was red and gold. Yeah. So, and they've maintained that color scheme. Yeah, so how many people in the world know that though? That's, you know, we do, but like,
so I have Iron Fist here. I was gonna get the yin yang with red to have in the same spot to like match the. Well, it's too late now. Yeah. Aquaman took that spot.
Yeah.
But like I was gonna do that to have Shang-Chi and Iron Fist on side by side because I always thought that would have been a cool, like a cool thing to have the both of them. But yeah, I don't know. I think the problem Shang-Chi is gonna be one of these ones. If you don't know anything,
you have to not know anything because it doesn't
the
use
less
anything.
You know. Yeah, the less you know, the more chance of you enjoying it is going to be. I don't know. Again, if you're not going to do the comics, then you have to make a kick-ass movie that stands on its own. This could be an argument for Guardians of the Galaxy where you're like, this isn't the comics. This isn't really the characters. Star-Lord was really... Because Star-Lord was completely different.
He's a dumb man-child, and he's not like that in the comics.
And he's not like that. Right. And I read, and I was starting to read, because I love Star-Lord in the movie before I read the books. Then I went back and got that black and white, the big one, the magazine kind of Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Shit, that was good. That was good shit. Anyways, but it's not Star-Lord. But I still have Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. He's great. But that movie is not the comics, but it's a very enjoyable entertainment movie that you're just like, this was a lot of fun. I liked it. So Star Wars didn't give you that. Star Wars didn't give it. It gave you non-Star Wars and a jumbled mess of a movie. But Guardians gave you a good movie. So is Shang-Chi really going to be so good that we can turn our brain off to say, oh, this isn't the comics. This isn't Fu Manchu. There's no Nayland Smith. I'm going to turn all that off. The Judge Dredd dialhead guy just to watch this. And you're like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, but I think the problem is I think Shang-Chi will be the movie where people wake up to the Marvel formula. I know people always have paid lip service to it, but like if all they're gonna be are smug, glib characters trying to endear themselves to you, I think this might be the movie that breaks people. Eternals, I think, will be a woke mess. Like I love Eternals, and I'm reading all the story arcs and stuff.
Yeah, so
but
that's a mistake.
And the thing, I know. The thing about, and I've said this before, Eternals should be a TV series because the thing that makes Eternals is all the different character interactions and the sort of like. I mean, I know it's cliche to say it, but it's sort of like Game of Thrones-ish. Like epic sort of like dovetailing nature of all the stories together, like all the characters mean something to each other character. You can't really pull that off in a movie. It has to be in a more 6-hour or 10-hour TV series where the characters can breathe and everything. And so because it's not like, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do the deviants because they haven't even shown the deviants in the trailers. Are they even in this? It's like they have to be, right? Is Crow in this? And if Crow is in this, do Crow and Thena have a relationship, or are you just not going to mention that? It's like it's complicated stuff, right? I love Circe from the comics. I love Circe from Avengers, and then when I read all of her Eternal stuff, she's awesome too. She's a carefree person that does her own thing.
Yeah, you mentioned
she's
that.
Sexually liberated. And I don't know if they're gonna. I know they're saying Circe is the real main character of this movie. That's fine to me. That's not woke because that's how it should be. What kind of Circe are we seeing here? Is it going to be something kind of bland and boring and finger wagging, or what is this? So we'll see what this is. It's funny what they're not showing in these trailers. It's like, my God, no deviant at all. Show a deviant.
So see, this is going to be very interesting when we see these movies because we've got 3 super weird perspectives. Sean and I like Kung Fu. I was going to say Master Kung Fu. Sean and I like Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I love Jack Kirby, but I have not read Eternals. I've only read the first issue of Eternals. So Sean will know both movies.
Yeah.
Comparatively to comics. I'll know one movie, and Steve, you haven't read Shang-Chi or Eternals. So this will be really good because Steve can judge it as a movie without any sort of, baggage. I'm going to have baggage on one, and Fu Manchu is like one of my best friends in life. I love Fu Manchu. So he's not in this. So I'm already, and the other thing too, Mandarin can kick the shit out of Shang-Chi.
I know.
What are we talking about? Mandarin, it's like, I'm Shang-Chi. You're dead. Like Fu Manchu
it's not like Fu
Manchu,
Manchu, right?
Fu Manchu can't kick the shit out of Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi will kick the shit out of Fu Manchu, but Fu Manchu's clever.
Can outsmart him.
And he's got traps. And he's got he's got those decoys, and he's got a lot of fucking weird shit. And they'll be like people, oh shit, he's working for Shang-Chi, or he's working for Fu Manchu, I didn't know. Oh, like he's crafty. Mandarin doesn't need to be crafty. He's like, oh, there's
he's got these rings. He just hides behind that shit.
Yeah. But so this will be very interesting for sure because it's like we're gonna have eternal, like, man. But my thing is that Jack Kirby, to me, he's the best.
Yeah,
he's the king. But he's like, to me, it's the visuals. You're
not doing that,
right? Yeah. And this is why I love Thor Ragnarok. Is that the story of Thor Ragnarok is whatever, and it's a bit whatever. But just the visuals of Thor Ragnarok, it is Jack Kirby.
Yes.
So that's why I applauded that movie. I'm like, look, it looks like Jack Kirby stuff come to life. It's over designed, which I love, the over designage. Look at his Black Panther.
It fits like gods and things. Yeah.
But Eternals also is like, I've looked through Eternals, right? Yeah. And especially, I hate saying get digital. look, you can't afford the original Eternals anyways, but the cleaned up, Epic collection or the digital collection of Eternals is like popping. Like the art is popping on those Eternals
I had
books.
the Eternals, the complete like issues in my hands, and for whatever reason I didn't buy it because I'm stupid as shit.
Well,
but,
you'll get another chance. The Toronto Comic Book Show is coming back.
It was at that show. I know.
It's coming back, Sean. We're gonna hit it up.
Oh,
so Steve, what are your initial thoughts then on Eternals? Because I got to be honest, it looked boring to me. I'm like, what's going on in this movie? Steve, what are your thoughts?
It looks like an art house film with like MCU-ish characters. Like,
right.
I don't really understand what I'm supposed to be watching, and I don't understand so everything is like, you have to sort of understand, like, you got two kinds of trailers now. You got the trailer that tells you everything and the trailer that tells you nothing.
Yeah, it's also like it's a really rough teaser or like in-depth trailer.
Right. Like lately it's been, we got to tell you everything, which we don't like. I prefer the don't tell me too much. I like to go in guessing. Yeah. But I also like to have a hint that, hey, this looks like it'll be entertaining. I don't get that hint with Eternals. It looks like a very heavy, meaningful movie that I'll be like, yeah, I could care less. It looks like a drama to me, like one of these slice of life dramas. And I'm like, why are they doing this? And it's like, they got the director of, I think it's Nomadland. She won the Oscar. She's the one who directed this. And she's like, oh, this is daring, this is new. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to walk out like, well, so let me ask you a question. How would you feel? So let's take a movie like Baraka.
Right.
Very interesting visually.
It's right there.
Yeah.
And some sorrow, both of them.
Visually. There's no narrative. You make the narrative in your head, basically, more or less. Okay. Now, how would you feel if Baraka was an MCU movie?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, see, because, and Sean and I were discussing this before, the idea that people attack the Marvel formula, this movie is not, Eternals is definitely, okay, Shang-Chi is going to be the Marvel formula.
Yeah.
And Eternals will not be the Marvel formula. So,
people shit on it.
And we'll see what happens. Like, they're going to say, oh, Shang-Chi sucks because it's just the Marvel formula. But then they're going to say Eternals sucks because we're not getting the stuff that we want to see out of a Marvel movie, which is why I'm kind of excited to see the two movies come around at the same time. Because
that's what I said before. It's like, I'm excited for people to shit on this movie. Please, God.
No, but
I don't ask for much, but
it's going to be more fun to watch them shit on the two movies for the opposite reason, right? Like it's like, oh, I'm sick and tired of this Marvel formula. Here's Eternals. Here's Eternals. It's like Eternals. Well, it's not giving me what I want.
I don't like it. Boring. No one's joking or anything.
Well, I don't know Like it depends. To me, Marvel, it has to go with the characters. Like, I'll take a movie. Like, if you're gonna, I don't know. Like, I didn't watch the Legion, TV series, but Legion's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that show has a lot of weirdness and a lot of, mind games and shit that you can't understand and, all this other crap, right? So I don't know. I haven't read Eternals at all. So I don't really know how I feel about it. I'll have to see if it works for the movie I'll have to see if it works for the story they're telling. But I think they also did a lot of stuff where they swapped characters around and they changed things around too. So I don't know. Like, we'll see what Sean thinks. Like, is he going to be like, oh, this character is not the right character or what?
Yeah, I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited to see how the critics react, which I never do. But I'm curious because I've actually looked back at every single MCU movie on Rotten Tomatoes. And the critical reaction to everyone, including the lesser ones, which we all agree are like Iron Man 3 and stuff, is it's certified fresh, right? It's got a great rating. I am interested to see when the bubble breaks. Black Widow, 80%, 87 or 80 or 70. It's up there.
Yeah.
I want to see if they're gonna love both of these movies as well. Because
Sorry.
At this point, you have to then say you guys are just shills for Disney and shills for this sort of thing. And I can't, like, not that I could take you seriously anyway, but you're blatant now. Like, it's obvious. It's like Ted DiBiase paying off the referee. Well, he's obviously a villain. You can't now say he's a face, right? It's the same thing.
Oh, I think they've already been outed like ages ago. Like, it's like they give the critics, like, I mean, they've given that new He-Man thing 90 something percent, and it's like, so you guys have obviously never watched the old cartoon or the 2000X cartoon, or you know, it's like,
even on its own merit, it doesn't make any sense.
No, even on its own merit, it's bad anyways. We already beat the shit out of that.
Yeah, but like critiquing it, you can rip it apart and say it's uneven. And moments are unearned. It's true, you know.
It's true. It's not good anyway.
They don't do that. It's the same thing. It's like with Last Jedi. I'm not sure what happened there. To me, when I read the critiques of those things from critics of Last Jedi, I feel like they thought we're gonna get in with the fans with this one. You know, and when you read some of the critiques, they're very general and they don't really tell you why it's good. They just use superlatives. Like, I remember the one that was on the face of it, when they take a pull quote to represent the fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and one guy was like, it's exciting and transporting. It's like, okay, but what, like, is it though? Like, why is that, right? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, and I remember transporting, because I get what they're saying. It's like it makes you forget about your woes, and you're watching this exciting adventure, but everything about the movie pulls you out of the movie, because every single choice is meant to do that. And so why are you saying this? And I always felt like the critics tried to just butter up the movie to get in with fans, like, now we're with you, and chose the wrong fucking hill to die on. And it's like, this is like the worst movie. What are you talking about? I can pick it apart not through Star Wars fandom, but just the movie itself. It's like, why are these characters doing these things? You know, even
it doesn't make sense.
Even in that big documentary they made for the Blu-ray, Ryan Johnson himself is sitting beside his partner. I don't know who the hell that guy is, and he's saying he comes to a realization. It's like, I don't think I really make the stakes clear. It's like all this stuff happens in the beginning and the characters go on these missions. I don't think I make it clear why they're doing that. And then his partner's like, oh, relax, you know, you're doing okay and everything. And he talks him off the ledge. And I'm like, buddy, Ryan, you hit the nail on the head on your own movie. That's why I don't like your shitty film. And you came to this realization, and we're seeing it in this documentary, and then you got talked right off the ledge by everyone else. Like, oh no, you're doing well. It's great. A bunch of yes men. It's like, but my point in all this is, like, the critics, for whatever reason, sided with that movie, and since then, it's any of these things are like dying over that. So, like the He-Man thing, I knew was going to get big rating, like good critiques from the critics, and what's his name? Kevin Smith has been saying it's the best accolades he's ever gotten from critics in his career and all that stuff. I don't know. He-Man hurts still for me.
I'm angry.
I was going through the Pixel Dan book, and I was like, oh my god. And I saw the theory that, like, they have to make it 20% different. That whole 20% thing. It's the same thing with Star Trek. And it's like, okay, but then make the toys then. Make it, say that we're basing this on the toy continuity or something like that, right? That would have been cool.
Tila can have the snake armor.
Right? Yeah, instead they did this, right? So I don't know. It's still smarts. I'm sorry. I know people are like, oh, you know, you stupid fan snowflakes. Listen, I'm a fan. I'm not even a mega fan of He-Man, but I'm a fan, and I'm offended by this show, and it hurts a bit. That's all.
I've seen people getting so angry though.
Yeah.
And you know, somebody, my review was like as polite as it could possibly ever be, ever. Like, and I was getting a little bit agitated while doing it, but I was keeping it a bit cool. I was trying to talk myself down a bit.
No, but your point was good. And
Yeah.
no one really says that. It's like if you can't do it, and if there's a social reason why you're embarrassed by this, then don't do it.
Don't
It's
do it.
like don't do a Superman. Then if you're embarrassed by it and you want to make him an asshole, then don't do it.
Right.
If a strong male with superpowers who's blonde and blue eyed is a bit too much for today, and you think that it can't fit in today's society, then don't fucking do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. It's like, don't make that show. It's like I said, Dukes of Hazzard is one of my all-time favorites. I own everything.
I recognize you can't do that now.
You can't do that one. I get it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't like the show. I love it. I got the
still
general,
watch
I got
it,
the big one, and you still watch. It's like I love Dukes of Hazzard. Right? I played the opening theme song like 17 times in a row. Like I just had it repeat. I'm like, I love the song. So I love that show. And they tried to do it with the new movies, and they're awful because they come across as jerks.
Do the real thing.
Bootlegging and all that was more of a fun thing, right? It's like now that what are they going to be, drug dealers? Like I don't like. It's just too. It doesn't work now, right? And the good old boys and all that. People are too jaded on that. And they just can't take it, or they're going to look down on it, or think it's stupid or offensive or racist. So they don't want. Yeah. So then don't make it. I'm okay with that. Like A-Team could still work now because it's a group of guys who are military guys. Okay, fine. And if Dukes of Hazzard can't work, then don't do it. But don't make Dukes of Hazzard kill Bo and Luke and have, two women come in all of a sudden and be like, yeah, we're this like big empowerment thing. It's like, well, this isn't Dukes of Hazzard. Well, you guys are just man babies and crying. It's like, well, no, but this isn't Dukes of Hazzard. Like, this isn't a crying situation.
Well, Dukes can be the girls. They can be Dukes too.
The Dukes
it's like, then they start gaslighting you and going into the weeds and semantics of like the name of the thing. It's like... I know it's called Masters of the Universe, but no one ever fucking called it that. It's called He-Man.
What we should do? We should go to They should do a thing where it's like, okay, Hollywood, you can't make anything that's an IP. Every property that comes out has to be out of someone's imagination, and let's see what happens. Exactly.
Oh, whew. They used to be able to do that. It's not like RoboCop was based on something. It's not like Back to the Future.
Alien, Terminator, RoboCop.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. E.T. I mean, Raiders, Goonies.
Yeah, but the thing, and they're coming up against this idea that, like, they're taking old stuff, but it's like from a different time, and like, how do we update it? It's like, well, not like this, not like write out the main fucking character. Like, why would you do that?
Well, I would be very interested to see what they do come up with, if anything. That's what would interest me. Like, okay, make an adventure, a fantasy adventure, but you can't use any MCU characters. Go. Can't use any DC characters. Go.
I think too that the part of the problem, and I remember this in comics in the 1990s. Wizard magazine. I know everyone hates Wizard, but like I used to read every single issue. And Wizard magazine, I remember one time someone one of the columnists was fed up and said like I wish that comic creators today would actually read a book. It's like, listen, if you want to write and you want to create comics and you want to create characters, read. Don't just read comics. Read books. Read myths of old. Read current books. Watch movies. Expand your media diet, and read the classics. And then you'll have more of a foundation and basis, right? I remember that distinctly. I remember someone say, I can't remember if it was Gary Seamus or someone, but it's true. And I think today there's too much of people they grew up on 90s movies or 80s movies, and that's all they fucking know. And they don't know where those things came from. They don't have any respect that they came from somewhere. And it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm weird. When I find out that something came from something else, I go and dive in and read those things. It's like, should I be reading Fu Manchu books? Should I be reading old pulp magazines? I have a collection of old pulp magazines that aren't worth anything. They're from the 30s, but it's like you can buy them for $5 at these comic shows. It's like and the old style pulp novels and everything with the classic art. You can buy them, you can read them, and you can see where stuff came from, how they were updated, and you can go from there. It's like it's the problem with Star Wars. It's like, let's make new Star Wars. Do you know where Star Wars came from? Have you read the old pulp magazines? Have you seen the old pulp serials? And do you understand that sort of style of adventure and optimism and fun that come from that, and imagination? I mean, and that sort of like cadence. There's a rhythm to it. Do you understand any of that? Well, what do you mean? We're just making Star Wars. And then they look at the old movie and then they just like go off from there, and you get these like crazy, bizarro Star Wars movies. They're stupid. It's like there's no respect for where anything comes from, and there's no culture either. There's no understanding of media and also myth and storytelling anymore. I could go on and on, but like whatever.
Yeah, no. Go ahead, Steve.
There's no respect for the structure of a good story. There's no respect for good storytelling. I completely agree. There's no respect for the basic mechanics and fundamentals of a good story, which is creating characters you can get behind, or characters who you hate and want to see lose. Like, there's no respect for that. There's no respect for building a logical frame or a logical thing, saying to a character and say, okay, if I have J-Man doing this, and this series of actions will dictate his character, right? There's nothing like that anymore. Everything.
But listen to yourself. Yeah, listen to yourself. I agree with you. Character is where story comes from.
Yeah.
But I feel, and I think I've said this before, I think modern screenplay writers go off of formula of a story. It's like the structure of a story. Like Steve, you began with there's no respect for the structure of a story. And then you talked about character, because that's where the story comes from. You and I both know that. J-Man knows that.
Yeah.
People who understand this stuff know that. But the thing is that like screenplay, like Last Jedi is a story built on pillars and structure, and not necessarily on the characters and their motivations and why they would do these things. So characters get pushed into situations and it doesn't feel organic or earned. And that's the problem. Listen, Raiders of the Lost Ark, there was a leaked like a transcript of the story meeting between Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, I can't remember if it was Kazdan or someone else. We're all there, and they talked about Raiders of the Lost Ark. The only thing they talked about was the character of Indiana Jones and who he was and what he was about and what skills he had and who he'd be modeled on. And that's all they talked about for an hour. That was their Raiders of the Lost Ark story meeting, was who Indy is. When you read that, and then I think this should be a class in university, read that and watch Raiders. And then you can see from that meeting to the finished movie where the story came from all the stuff they came up with the character. It's like, now that we have this character and all the things he likes and the things he dislikes and what he believes in and all that, how do we test that in the movie and build a story around that? And it's like, he's not going to blow up the Ark because it's history and he wants to. It's like he's bluffing, and the other guy knows that. And it's like, moments like that come from character. The story comes from the character, and I think that's completely lost now. It's like, let's make a story. Oh, like we should have 3 acts, and this character will have a foil and blah blah blah. It's like that freaking whiteboard that they had for Star Wars that was leaked, where it's like dinosaurs, robots. It's like, what are you doing?
Look, hold on. This is what's actually happened. They haven't forgotten the characters. They don't know what it means to have a character. They think, oh, she's a female who can fight, strong female character. That is not a character. I'm an emotional person when I watch movies. If I don't care, I don't care. Wrestling, and people make fun of wrestling, but wrestling has nailed this one thing, especially in our time, which is the heels, baby faces. The storyline is the storyline. But you hate this person, you want to see him lose. Steve said that earlier. Or you want to see Hogan win, you want to see Zeus lose, right? Right. It's got to be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Clarence Boddicker is a piece of shit. I want to see RoboCop destroy this bastard, and I want to see RoboCop win in the end. we're gonna quote the lines that RoboCop says. We're gonna quote the Clarence Bodiger lines. We're gonna cosplay as Batman. We're gonna cosplay as Joker. We're gonna buy the toys of Joker. You're not buying a toy of a storyline. You buy a toy of a character and then you use that character in reenacting the storyline you saw. Or if you're a more imaginative kid, you make your own storyline with the toy that you buy. You buy the character of Superman because you understand what Superman is. You understand the decisions that he would make. So you pit him against your other toys. You dress up as Superman and go out because you want to be Superman and you want to fight guys. You go to the playground and then there's an argument. No, I want to be Batman. No, I want to be Superman. And then there's the one kid who's like, I'll be Green Lantern. And you're like, oh, that's cool, right? This is what life is, and this is what these characters are. This is not a passive experience where I watch a square television and be like, that was so progressive and great. Having strong female characters was amazing. And look, there was even a black character for once. This is so great. Okay, do you want to quote lines that character says? Quote a line from Ray. Impossible. It's like quote a line from Finn. Great, strong black actor. Quote a line. I don't know, nothing, right? This is what they're missing. They think that the character is that. Oh, he's a black guy. That's good enough, isn't it? There you go. We made a character. No, you didn't. Give me a reason why I should cosplay as that character. Give me a reason why I should buy the toy of that character and go on adventures with that character.
Yeah.
They can't do it. They're literally incapable of it, because if they were capable, they would do it automatically. This isn't something that needs to be put into thought. You don't need to put into words. Like, it has to be obvious. Of course there's going to be a meeting about who Indiana Jones is. It's about Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Because if you're just writing a story and it's like, if it's not like I write the first chapter, Steve writes the second chapter, and then we put them all together and like, oh wait, Steve, you just had Indiana Jones murder a child, but in my chapter I said he wouldn't do that, right? That's why we talked about the He-Man, the series Bible, so people don't go off character. This is not something that needs to be learned or taught. This should be obvious. Okay, it's about Ray. Give me a reason to like Ray. Give me a reason for me to go buy the toys and wear a t-shirt of her and get a tattoo of Ray. And give me something. They can't. They're like, no, but it's a strong woman. That's enough. And if you don't like Ray, that means you're against women. It's like, no, I'm against nothing, because she is nothing. She's just there. I'm not. It's not even like you're hating her. I didn't hate her either. Like, I don't have any hatred. I just don't have anything. I'm like, okay, there's a character. I like Ray. I liked her. She's cool. I'm like, yeah, she fights people. Okay, there you go. It's like, I need more. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, they don't seem to have any. So when I write, I literally visualize I'm there with the character and I'm watching them do the actions. It's not hard for me to visualize the actions if I'm with that character. Like, you have to actually be with that person, that character, whoever you're creating. And they're not doing that. They're just like creating, this stereotype, this, trope, this caricature, and this is it. And then it's like they're just throwing it on the screen and they're like, there you go. Like, to your point, J-Man, yeah, I created a strong female character, but why should I care? Like, what has she done to endear herself? She began that way, Ray did, because of the scavenging thing. Okay, that's kind of cool. Like, she had to fight to, it's a stereotypical, I'm an orphan, I had to grow up tough on the streets. Not everything has to be like super, groundbreaking, but it has to be relatable. It has to be something where I want to stick with this character. And then, like, she learns the Force in 5 seconds, and immediately I'm off base with it, because I don't understand why. If Luke Skywalker is one of the greatest Jedi ever, and it took him like how much training with Yoda and Dagobah, and how much stuff did he have to learn, like hard lessons, watching his mentor getting cut down in front of him. Like, you have to have natural aptitude. I'm not going to give the midichlorian thing there, but you have to have a natural aptitude. But you have to learn. And if you can't learn the Force, if the Force just comes to you, you didn't earn anything. You didn't earn the power of the Force. You just had it. Like, they don't seem to understand, like, you need to earn the audience. and they don't want to earn the audience. They want the character to walk in frame left and for you to automatically be with them. They don't want to earn it.
Just on your point about learning, let's say for in this instant, she can learn the Force very quickly. It just awakens in her. The Force awakens within Rey.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Then give me something else for her to do.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be, oh, the Force specifically has to be learned because that's a tough thing that needs to be learned. Let's say in this instance, she learns it really quickly, but then she's a garbage fighter and she can't do anything. And then someone's like, okay, look, you've got the Force. Perfect. But you're garbage on fighting. Kylo Ren has martial arts experience. He knows jujitsu. He knows kung fu. He knows swordplay, fencing, and the Force. It's like Rey was able to do everything. That's the Mary Sue thing. Everything came fast. It's okay. Yeah. You can write something where it's like, this person just automatically knows the Force. Okay, but what don't they know?
But no, it's fine for all that. But the biggest problem for me was, and I think for a lot of people was, there's no peril for her. It's like, you can argue that Luke Skywalker learns from Yoda in like a couple weeks because we don't really know how long it took for Han Solo to go to Cloud City and everything. It's like, but some people are like, oh, it's months. Like, is it really? Were they in that worm for months? I don't, but the thing is, Luke Skywalker still had shit to do. Like he still saw shit. It's like he had that fight with Darth Vader and he lost. He got his ass kicked, his hand chopped off. He did a heroic thing by choosing death over joining Darth Vader at the end. But then he's hanging. He's at his very lowest at the end of Empire Strikes Back. And the thing is, they didn't give Rey a moment like that at all. I don't remember a part where she was really jeopardized. Like, she fought and stuff, but she wins the fight against Ben Solo in the first movie, and I'm like, well, then what's the point of watching the rest of them? She's just gonna win every single fight. Like, she's not tested. And that was the problem. Like, yeah, to your point, J-Man, have her fine. The Force Awakens. That's your concept. That like she just knows everything. But then wind her a bit. Like maybe in the second movie, like take the wind out of her sails for her to overcome it in the next movie. But she didn't overcome shit in all three movies.
They even do this, and they do this in generic movies like Tomb Raider, this new one. She sucked in that to learn. Like, this isn't even like a high concept. No, it's just very generic.
Well, think of the Hobbits in Lord of the Rings. Look at all the stuff they had to do. They were on a journey. It was literally the Fellowship breaks. They break off in separate things. They all have their trials and tribulations. And at the end, you feel like they've gone on this journey. They've overcome all these obstacles. They've overcome, all these trials, and they've earned the end. There's no earning of endings or anything. It's just like, imagine Lord of the Rings was just the hobbits get the ring, and someone's like, there's a shortcut, and they're at Mount Doom.
Yeah,
that's how I feel with these Star Wars movies.
Yes, Skeptic. I know they, but it's one of those things where, like, I guess she's tested too by Ben Solo in the first movie and overcomes that within that one scene. She's tested by Snoke in that, sure, and then overcomes it in that one scene. Like, she doesn't walk away defeated and learning from her mistakes and coming back stronger, which is what a hero should do in a heroic journey. I don't know what they were doing with this, right? So
yeah, even if it was tested, she was tested. Like, I don't like in the final battle, in the final battle of Force Awakens, doesn't Finn pick up the lightsaber and fight Kylo Ren at some point? Like again, like I'm confused.
They didn't know what they listen. That whole thing's a frustration bomb. They didn't know what they were doing, and you can tell partway through those movies, everyone got the feeling. Actually, before the first one came out, everyone got the feeling. No, before the second one, everyone got the feeling. Oh my God. There's no rudder. Like, there's no one steering this ship, because Rian Johnson tweeted like, "Oh, they just told me to do whatever I wanted." And then I remember people retweeting that going, "Holy fuck, what the fuck? They don't have a plan." And that was before Last Jedi came out. It's startling. And when J.J. Abrams admitted that just a few months ago, people were shocked and stunned,
I
and
know,
there were
it's
like
like
all
everybody
sorts of
knew that.
YouTube videos and articles written, and even like big things like Rolling Stones, like what the fuck, and it's like, guys, did you not know that? J.J. Abrams is a fucking hack, and these movies sucked, and they never had any direction. Everyone else knew that,
Yep.
but yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta close. I will say this one other thing too, and then that's it. I'm gonna have the last word. The other thing, it doesn't have to like for people watching this later or in chat, don't misinterpret to say like, oh, she needs to be tested. She doesn't need to be tested. What I'm saying is there needs to be something going on for us to get into this character. Like, I don't know, is Snake Plissken, really tested or not? Like, he's the same, but there's an adventure with Snake. Like, it depends what movie you're telling me. Like, how do you want me to interpret this character? Like Snake Plissken comes across as a total jerk, but he does have kindness in him. He has goodness in him because he does try to help people, right? And at the end, he screws over the president. So it's like he's not tested either, but it doesn't matter. There needs to be something. Like Snake Plissken is just a cool guy that you're like, yeah, I want to be cool like him. James Bond's a cool guy. I want to be cool like him. You have to pick what you want out of the movie. Like if Star Wars, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, this person needs to be tested and go through the ringer for me to like them. No, but give me something else then. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I didn't see the trials and tribulations of Darth Vader to know that I like Darth Vader, but he did cool stuff and he did scary stuff. And you're like, oh shit, Darth Vader's scary. Wow, he can do all this. It's like, do something. Like the characters can't just walk through the plot and be like, yeah, we've made it to the end. Yeah, we've defeated the villains. It's like, I guess, like, did you do anything cool? Like, that's just the complaint on Star Wars. There's different complaints, on Captain Marvel, who she did, she was supposed to have gone through a journey where she gets her memories back, but they screwed that movie up in other ways because we don't care. Like they gave her a journey and they tested her and they did all the stuff that we're saying, but we still didn't care. So there's still other stuff too. We're not just saying this is the only thing you have to do to every character and every hero must be tested. It's like, no, they don't have to be tested, but you have to do something with the character. So because Luke was tested, we're applying that to Rey, and maybe we shouldn't apply that to Rey, but we can't apply anything else because they didn't give us anything else. So we don't know what to do with Rey. All right, that's it. We're gonna end it off. We're back. All of us are back tomorrow. Yes, on Action.
Not me.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So Steve and I are gonna be on the Action Elite tomorrow night talking about Hard Rain. Love that movie. Alien 1 is one of my favorite movies of all time. I also like Aliens, but Alien 1 is to me far superior than the others. Aliens is still a cool movie to watch to address skeptic stuff. All right, guys, that's it. See you next time.